Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the finale of the Crawler Cup. My name is Kiki, and once again, I'm joined by the beautiful, by the wonderful, by the mythical, the amazing Tibbles. How you doing, Tibbles?
I'm doing great, Kiki. I'm so excited for it's finally the finals day, man. We finally get to see the culmination of this amazing Rocket League action. We have some great players ready to put on a show today.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, speaking of, we have plenty of highlights to actually go through as well from the other few moments that we've had on the previous stream, which was just last week. We had a, amazing work, watching these players play in Swiss and then following up in the playoffs as well. There was so many moments and there was so many heartbreaks as well. We've seen an insane Game 5, I'm pretty sure for one of the last games as well, where M80 got actually beaten by Monkman, so that was an incredible one to actually see as well, Tibbles. Any thoughts on that? Do you consider it an upset, or...?
I don't believe it was M80. It might have been a different team, at least for the Swiss stage. But yeah, I mean, we definitely had some upsets. We had some teams that didn't make it, like Tag, I think, was the standout for us. That's T. Carell.
Yeah.
His team over there. You would expect them to get through to the top bracket, but they didn't. But I think all three of these teams that are playing today have really earned their spot, Kiki.
Yeah, absolutely. And to remind ourselves who actually earned the spot, we will take a look at the finale of the bracket. There's only a lower final, a grand final, and a potential reset to be played here if it is to be had here. So, Kazakami up against Monkman as well. We've seen both of these teams perform. Amazing words, Kiki. Kazakami, also known as Mabo's Minions, for all of you who have been sometimes following the Star GG, sometimes following the actual Wikipedia, they renamed just before actually submitting their name to the actual tournament. So that is sort of why there's two names in their rosters, and then waiting in the actual finale is team name. We saw that team, Aqua and the rest of the lads. But to remind everyone at home, Tibbles, could you remind us who the actual players are as we do get them on screen any second now from team name, Kazakami and Monkman?
Absolutely, yes. For Monkmen, we have Juice, Solar, and Monk here as well, and Kamikaze over there. They have Nightya, Kevin, and Scythe as well. And I do want to quickly mention, Kiki, that you were right that M80 did lose in Game 5 against Monkmen. I thought you were talking about the Swiss stage, but that did happen in the lower bracket.
Aha.
And I think for Monkmen, I think that's M80 took down Lob, who was one of the teams I was thinking that would make it pretty far into the tournament. And so for Monkman to take down M80, who had already had those accomplishments, Monkman gotta be feeling confident tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that. And then also team name, the grand finalists, the first ones to punch their ticket and grab themselves that bracket reset should they need it. Knight, Hazo, and Aqua, the prodigal son of the NA scene from back in the day as well, gracing us here in the grand finals. And honestly, I think they actually do have what it takes to be one of the grand finals as well. I think they deserve to be here. And speaking of, we never actually mentioned the distribution of the prize pool, but now we have a little bit more of an accurate depiction of it. So 7th to 8th place gets that $250, still a good day at the office in terms of just making it from Swiss stage. And then 56 coming up with $500. But then the top 4, they get kind of crazy, Tibbles, don't they?
Yeah, they absolutely do. Yeah, 4th place, $750. That's $250 per player, or about thereabouts. 3rd place, $1,250, Kiki. We're getting into 4 digits. 2nd place, $2,000, and the cool one at the top, 1st place, $4,500 for a team of 3 to take home.
Yeah, I mean, it's still amazing considering it's a nice day of Rocket League to enjoy as well. It's just a cooldown before the EWC as well, so you have that sort of level of preparation and also that extra bit of, fun case where you're able to watch some other Rocket League as well, maybe not as stressful and as under pressure as the top, but here, definitely, you can see a mix of Tier 1 and Tier 2, that is for sure in the NA region, or at least for teams who failed to actually, meet the expectations and requirements to qualify for the EWC, so they have a chance here, to grab themselves something for a holiday, maybe go and buy a gift for someone, or buy a gift for themselves, you never know. RAM is getting expensive these days, so you might want to upgrade anytime soon, but ultimately, Tibbles, I think we had an amazing tournament so far, and there's only a few ways to finish this. So who do you actually reckon will actually pull through here? Like, do you have a favorite amongst Kazakami, Monkman, and team name?
Ooh, maybe if you were just talking about the lower final, I think maybe I would say Monkmen. Like I just mentioned, their Game 5 result over M80 as well. The teams that M80 had already beat, they had momentum with them, and they still took down M80 anyway. So at least for the losers final, I'm going to say Monkman. But Kiki, I think for the grand final, you know, they've done so well to give themselves, you know, it's a bracket reset, excuse me. So, you know, for a team name to lose, they would have to lose 2 best-of-7s in a row. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Knight, Hazo, and Aqua will pull it out, but we'll have to see. But yeah, we'll get both of those series today. So definitely buckle in and get all the food and snacks that you need.
Yeah, absolutely. Not really sign of, you know, just getting this show underway just yet. We're still waiting for one more team to join up in time, but ultimately when they do, we will be getting this show on the road, so we still have some time to talk about things here, Tibble. So who would be your standout player talking about the actual matchup for the actual, you know, game ahead of us? So you have Monkman up against Kazakami, and you know, any players that stand out to you?
You know, especially for Monkman and Kamikaze, I'm not sure that there are standouts. I think Solar did a lot in the midfield to connect their teammates as well. And Juice and Monk, I think overall they're just a fast team. They play very fast. Kamikaze, Nightya, Kevin, and Scythe, you know, all of these players have experience at the top flight. I know, you know, they're ranked B+, rank A in that area, in 6-mans for North America. And so, you know, these players, I think all of them, but Scythe specifically, I think, is probably one of the standouts for me. A fairly young player and knows what they're doing, has a lot of experience, but has a lot of potential as well and can utilize both.
Absolutely. Well, time for talk is coming to an end because action is upon us. It's time to launch and take off to get ourselves underway. It's NA Pride up against NA Power. Time to see who actually takes what it gets to be a champion.
Kamikaze and Monkman laying it all down on the line here in the losers final. Of course, they want to book their ticket to that all-elusive grand final against Team Name as well. And, you know, the Goliaths waiting for that there. So as we get game 1 underway, I mean, these players, they have to be playing at the top of their game. You know, every player will be on point tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and finally, time for talk is over. Time for action is upon us as we get ourselves underway, and it's time to get ourselves a second grand finalist to potentially punch a ticket through and see themselves maybe, just maybe, crowned a champion.
Monkman and Orange here. Juice already making good on it. A demo coming through on the blue team. Juice to break through. It's 1-0 already.
Amazing footwork coming through, or should I say wheel work coming through from Juice as well, maneuvering around his teammate Monk, going in for the heavy demo, and just immediately able to come out on top there. Beautiful work, and even better considering the fact that you have started this one off with a very, very dominant 1-0 lead.
And we saw how important momentum was in those earlier stages. Solar having to do some defense back here, under pressure by Scythe there. Knight will take it fast, again to Solar. Over. Juice will take it up for Monkman. They're looking to press here, have a lot of pressure up on the backboard. Scythe has to make that save again in the midfield. Knight to take it forward. Can Kevin get a touch? A fake? It might just work. It's out the other way, and they're responding in kind, but can't find the equalizer.
Yeah, a little bit awkward as well, coming through from the side of Kazakami. They're still trying to kind of hold on to this sole possession, but the demos coming through from Monkman are really hindering the rotations, although they did get some time to breathe. Monk to the sky, so much space left to work with here. Nightya makes the save, and Juice is now left to collect the spoils of the actual play. Great demo there by Nightya. Remains unclear how much possession has been gained. A lot, it seems. Scythe going for the shot, but it's gonna be denied as Monkman still steer clear of that equalizer.
And that miss into the hit, plus the demo in the midfield as well, kind of opened it up for Kazakami here. They do get that 50 coming through, back in the midfield. So they'll pick it up. A few little touches, just to bait in the defender over one as well. Can they drop it down? Anyone crashing the net? Monk top left. What a play from the Monkmen here.
Brilliant, just applying that pressure softly, smoothly, slow, analyzing every single possibility. He beat 2 players to get that assist to him. Solar, one incredible pass to lay off to Monk, and well, the finish, he's never gonna miss that, is he, Tibbles?
Never going to miss it. And again, this is a best of 7, guys, so
yeah.
Only one best of 7, no bracket reset just yet. That'll be only the grand final. But it's so important to get a good start in game 1. Monk just to take it themselves, gets the bump off the crossbar and the negative angle to make sure it goes through.
And the way he's just able to see this play in advance, Kevin was not really in a position I'd even consider him bumpable in from Monk's POV. There is simply no way you're able to kind of collect this one in their own sort of fashion with a bump. That is crazy angles caught from Monk.
Solar up once again. Looking for that hit. Scythe will have a relatively calm journey out until Juice shows up on the scene here. Kevin and Knight, actually a bump between them. Could be a shot. It's saved away at the last minute by the Kazakami defense here. Juice again, another 50. Monkmen are pressing here. And that's what's concerning me most, Kiki. It's not the Kazakami, it's back and forth and they're getting shots. Monkmen are trying to press here and suffocate them down.
Yeah, absolutely not allowing them to get that extra room to work with here, as Monk is kind of forced to make this one work in their own fashion. And to be fair, they have been just doing that. Monk has been incredible so far in the front end, alongside Juice as well, as they are registering 1 goal and 1 shot alongside them. But Sola is looking for their first, I'm pretty sure, as well. But the demos just speak volumes about Solar's playstyle. Such a support player, able to enable your players to thrive truly underneath your sun. Oh, and he goes for it.
Solar, yeah, the support. What support? Kiki, they're going to do it all themselves here. Juice actually just taking the long road back. Monk will get the demo coming through. Solar, nice reset under Kevin to get it through. Kiki, that is now 4 goals on the board for Monkmen here.
Yeah, I mean, it's reminding me of domination in itself and what it actually stands for. The definition itself is speaking volumes throughout the actual game, and now you're just gonna have to wait and see what the response is coming through here. And when you think about this team and you take a bit of a look here on their roster, because Akami do have the sort of mechanics, they do have the sort of levels to maybe even find that shot. A great clear down deep, but as I was saying, the mechanics are there. It's just about managing that pressure well, because Monkmen, ever since they started applying those bumps, those pressure plays, it seems like Kazakami just simply can't move.
Yeah, and Monk picked up the ball there, and there was actually no one, from Kazakami to really put pressure on there. That'll be another one to the side. A little bit close, a little bit closer as well. Kazakami under pressure here. Kevin will take it again. Knight to the middle once again. But kind of like you said, I mean, just the positioning from Kazakami here has just seemed a little bit awkward, a little bit off. Kevin trying to do their best here. Carry forward, gets a 50 to the corner. Scythe will take over. Can they get one here? But it's 50 the other way. And Monkmen are just so solid on that back line.
Yeah, not giving them an inch at all. I mean, even though they have this 4-0 lead, they're not letting up on defense. They want to keep this clean sheet to give that feeling of just simply unbreakness, just simply in dominance. They're able to kind of just hold you at arm's length, and you cannot do anything to penetrate them. How are you supposed to get that shot off? How are you supposed to get the goals if you can't even score one in 5 minutes?
And the compactness is what is getting them too. I mean, they had an opportunity to take a shot on goal, Kiki, for Kazakami here, but there were 2 defenders for Monkmen back and 1 ready to receive the pass. I mean, their positioning has just been on point. Solar once again, flick to the right, Juice to carry over, top right, Kevin can't get there, and it's 5.
Yeah, I mean, numbers just keep racking up. 33 seconds on the clock, but 5 is the number that we love to see here, and ultimately, it does come down to that sort of sense of dread over this team. It does come down to the sort of levels that Kazakami really haven't been in it from the start. Do you think something has to change? Is there some sort of way to potentially make them, just wake up, snap back to reality or some sort of way? Because it doesn't seem like it's working for them.
I don't think they've woken up yet, Kiki, but they have woken up just a little bit. Oh, that's on the post. Can they get one for the road? Maybe. Knight there to take the shot, but it's saved away by Monk. 10 seconds now. Maybe they can get another one. Reset coming through. Low shot. Monk bottom left, and it's 6. I mean, what a statement here in game 1.
Yeah, just able to turn defense into offense so swiftly. That reset, being able to fake out the high and then just drops it beneath the player. Great awareness coming through from Monk. It just shows, and the player itself is just incredible. I mean, Monk, I believe that's more than a hat-trick that he secured so far. No, exactly a hat-trick, I apologize. But ultimately, the only hat-trick in the game, and 6 to start off is a statement to be had.
Yeah, 3-2-1 all the way down for goals on Monkmen's side. 5 shots for Monk as well. Juice and Solar each with 4. Scythe maybe looking for a pinch off their own backboard. Drop it down. There might be another one. Knight just to hit it away. Maybe going for another one, actually. Long downfield. Can Scythe get there up on the wall? Solar is there. Knight drop down. Kevin Can't get a touch. Knight back to that. Again, off the midfield. Will be over for game 1. No, they actually keep it up. Will finally touch the ground, Kiki. But, oh, man. I mean, what a dominant display in that one. And, you know, it was so dominant that you asked me what they could do better. And I didn't even have time to respond because Monkman scored again. So now I'm going to answer your question here after game 1, after they can't score anymore.
Yeah.
You know what? I saw positive changes from Kazakami in that game already near the end, where they're rotating closer to each other. They're getting passes, you know, shorter infield passes, so they don't have to go as far. So the chance of interception is lower. You know, they had that a little bit more in tandem with the rotations, and they didn't have that before. They looked very scrambled for the majority of game 1, and that is something they have to fix moving into game 2.
I see that. A big problem in the backlines, in the rotations, and well, there's only one way to fix that, and ultimately it would be just to take a deep breath, focus on the basics, come back to the foundations of Rocket League and what actually made you become such a high-skilled team. Let's see if they can do that. Let's see if they can lock in and potentially find themselves back in this series, because right now, they don't even have a foothold.
Yeah, they don't. They're still looking for that beginning step, which I think, you know, but I think one goal could change that, Kiki. You know, being left scoreless in game 1. Game 2, a goal can change that immediately. Monk up already. Kevin, a wonderful save midair, but Solar already on the scene, looking for that 50 coming through. Scythe, again, stacking the players here for Kazakami. They don't want to have a repeat of last game, because after a certain point, the game just got away from them, Kiki, but this one looks to do the same.
Yeah, this one is not letting up any time soon. It feels like the sort of dominance just continued. There's no stop to their momentum, and they have that sort of composure to make it happen when it counts over and over again. And if they keep this up, I don't really see how Kazakami respond, although a kickoff strategy might do the thing to shake things up here. They're showing some confidence to actually go for that after having 7 unanswered.
You know what? It is a little bit late to ask now, but you did ask me, so I have to ask you. What is your prediction for the losers final here, this series right here?
Yeah, well, I would have loved to have given a bit of an incorrect statement, because if I saw the first game, I'll definitely say I'm going to have to be a bit biased here towards Monkman, because they are simply dominating the field. But I do think that there is a glimmer of hope here on the side of Kazakami. I think they have what it takes to grab a game or two. So ultimately, I'm thinking once they lock in, once they maybe get that wake-up call, I'm thinking it's a Game 6 finish at 4-2 for Monkman.
Well, I hope that was the wake-up call here for Kazakami. Just beat for Kevin as well. Equalizer for them, and first goal on the board for Kazakami here.
And well, speak of the devil, they finally get their answer after 7 minutes almost of playtime and 7 goals against them. They get themselves on the board, and ultimately the previous goals don't matter, because this one, it's all leveled up here, Tibbles.
Yeah, it is all leveled up here, and that's exactly what Kazakami needed. Just level terms again. Like I said, the game got away from them. At a certain point, you think about all the pressure on you. Juice trying to make that a living reality here for Kazakami. Scythe will actually win past those 250s, though. Win another one as well. Will go flying to the left. Over for Monk. Getting another touch coming through. Beating defenders on their way as well. Looking for that bump on Kevin. What a play that would have been. Solar to just dive that one in. Again, turn around. Mace on that one, maybe a fake. Juice to turn around once again. Ooh. Over for Kevin, looking for Monk. The save, the passes, or excuse me, the shot is straight down the middle. Kevin to pick this one up, getting bumped away. And you can see kind of these physical plays emerging. Just a little bit of frustration, a little bit of interference here from these teams.
Yeah, they're trying to get into each other's rotations just to get that extra demo, get that extra bit of disruption amongst their play, and ultimately that will get you goals over and over again if you can keep a consistent line of it. But going for those same demos could also look to cost you if they're not really in your way, or alongside it at least. If you're going just for the demo and maybe sacrificing a player for it, missing it could prove fatal for your team.
And that early challenge has just been so lethal for Monkman here. I mean, every time Kazakami are trying to clear it, or trying to take a shot, or trying to pass it, there's just always someone from Monkman in their face, making a challenge, being there first. And that's why it's so hard for them to get anything past. Solar trying to do a little trick shot here. Knight making a nice save. Ball went straight to their car as well. Back for Solar, though, up on the ceiling. What can they do here? Maybe looking for the reset, though, but fake down to the ground. Kevin will take instead. Still all tied up, and I think that's a credit to Kazakami, because they're really working the Monkman defense here.
Yeah, absolutely. There is still work to be done, though. The defense is not done answering yet. The boost is low, though, on the side of Monkman, so they might look to let up a little bit here as Nitya looks to gather their bearings and maybe get that clear alongside Scythe. Yes, they do combine, and now Kevin needs that deep clear to at least buy his team some time and maybe some room to work with here. Although, what has happened here, though? A bomb going astray here. Nitya less to play it, to work with. He does manage to clutch it up here for the side of Kazakami. 90 seconds, they need to get on the offensive if they want to maybe surprise the opposition here, because it feels like a goal is just around the corner. And speak of the devil, Juice is there to deliver.
And of course, it's Monk. I mean, look at this player, Kiki. Air dribbles past 2, and then bumps the 3rd. Makes it extremely easy for their teammate to just come in and boop the ball, got another goal. I mean, this is just ridiculously good Rocket League from Monkmen here. Monk is playing out of their mind, just dominating on every single challenge here. Kevin trying to come through, floating through the air. Solar once again does get a second touch up for Knight. Off the wall, kind of an awkward one. Scythe does meet it as well, and now 1 minute for Kazakami. Juice actually misses that one. Scythe is there, up for Knight as well. I thought maybe they'd have an opportunity, but Monkmen are just so good at keeping that in the midfield.
Yeah, they're not giving any sort of pressure with those 50s. They're taking everything away. They're playing the 50s for each other, but now is a breakaway. A chance here for Scythe maybe, but no. The sort of repossession is gained from Monkmen, and now it's going to be a scramble to the ball here as Scythe is trying to beat him to the boost. He's not going to be able to, just has the control of the ball, needs a teammate in tow. Kevin will look to oblige as 30 seconds are remaining here, and they really need to go desperate. They need to get physical, and they need to get that second player, that second man into the ball as fast as possible after it.
And that earlier play from Scythe, maybe about 20 seconds ago, kind of sums up the series here for Kazakami. Try to get it clear down to the corner, missed the boost. The opponent got it, couldn't do anything basically, just had to rely on their teammates to get that clear out. And it's just been so awkward for the second half of this game as well. Juice looking for another one. Monk the pass, but will block it as well. Clear out, but they need it to be in the goal. Off the wall, this could be it actually for Scythe. Monk on the backboard, ready, more than ready for that one. And game 2 will be Monkmen's.
Yeah, I mean, they had the pressure, but I'm happy to see Kazakami wake up. I'm happy to see them finally get something on the board in terms of offense, but ultimately, the stats just speak for themselves. Kazakami needed 10 saves to stay into that game, yet they had only 2 shots against Monkman. So, when you compare the shots, it's 14 to 2. And that just shows how offensive Monkmen are as a team. How did they punish that sort of aggressiveness?
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of the way forward a lot of times. You're right. If a team is overcommitting, if they're putting too much forward, but I don't see that from Monkmen.
Yeah.
They seem very chill. They seem very composed, and it's almost like an expectation that they will beat another player to the ball, that they will get a good challenge, that they just have that belief. And until you have a reason not to have that belief, I mean, this team will be flying. So it's going to take a lot. It's definitely not going to be as simple as, Kazakami can just make this one simple change and they'll start scoring goals left and right. I mean, that could happen. It depends on Monkmen's performance here, but it needs a lot more. Again, they need that teamwork. And what I said about those challenges coming through from Monkmen, they're immediately challenging the ball. And for Kazakami, they need to do something similar.
Yeah, they cannot let up at all in terms of the midfield pressure because they have been giving them those duels. Kazakami really haven't had those 50s, and as you mentioned, they have been losing the midfield duels quite often. That's what gave Monkman so much chance to attack, so much pressure in the offensive third, and that's something Kazakami simply cannot get rid of at this stage.
Monk flying high, looking for that reset. Will cede possession to their teammate Solar as well. Nice hit from Scythe to get that one away. Kevin to pick this one up. Again, one touch on the wall. Looking to continue it. I like that confidence as well. Looking for maybe a bump on the other side. Ooh. A mistake from Monk, though. Uncharacteristic, but Knight won't complain.
Yeah, they're not going to let that one go unpunished, though. They're going to take everything they can right now because it's not going to give... That chance is not coming your way again in that sort of same fashion. That's a mistake you need to punish as soon as it pops up because it's going to be a rare one, and now you need to hold on or press your advantage.
Yeah, and it's so good for their confidence that they got it through. Oh, I thought they were going to get scored on again.
Oh, yeah.
And tie it up. But, to miss that one would be devastating. Maybe another one for Kevin here. Top left save from Monk. revitalizing themselves just a little bit, redeeming themselves here. Kevin, once again, looking for that aerial play off the corner here. Plenty of boost to work with, looking for the bump instead. Scythe to send it in. Anyone off the backboard to follow through, but it has to be Scythe himself, and that gives away possession. That's a problem that has to be fixed.
Yeah, absolutely. They cannot let up in those sorts of midfield battles, because once they do, it's gonna be a very slow wait, a very slow climb back up to the top of the leaderboards again. And especially in terms of the scoreboard, those goals are not gonna give themselves. And the midfield battles is exactly where you need to dominate to at least get some time off the clock, or potentially stop Monkman from attacking. If you don't do that, you're just gonna be a lost cause throughout the actual game.
Well, and just being there for the shot as well, just being there for the threat on goal. I mean, that has to force Monkman backwards. It will, you know, ruin their rotation just a little bit because they have something extra to be paying attention to. And so for Kazakami, you know, you can see the pieces building. You can see them trying. Juice once again here, sealing for Solar, one off the wall, looks for another off the backboard. Any follow-up, it'll be Scythe instead. But this ball is moving at a snail's pace in this Kazakami corner.
Yeah, and right now, it's good to keep it there. There's really not much danger, but they finally break through with a demo or something. They have an extra player. Monk opting to go for the boost early, so it will mean that they have some pressure off of them for the time being. Scythe waiting in goal now, gets that clear to the side here. Kevin looking to resume this sort of possession, but it will be Monk to potentially contest here for a chance at the counter-attack. That's a great pass from Scythe over to Kevin. Kevin can't quite get that on target, and it will just fizzle out. But good time board here from Kazakami.
Now for Solar, looking for that shot on. He does find it, but again, saved away. It's nice to see from Kazakami here. Kevin gets the reset. Oh, I love the little shuffle to send it up. Solar and Monk were both ready to get that one away, though. Some creative ideas here from Kazakami. Nice little donk pass there as well. And Kevin to pick up in the corner. You can see kind of these creative plays starting to come through. Oh, that's a dangerous one. It's off the post. It's on the goal line. I don't know how that didn't go in.
Yeah, that one just takes levels above, and Scythe is gonna punish on the other end. Out of nowhere. They don't maybe need to control the midfield, they're just able to cross it entirely without getting contested. Scythe, a laser to the top corner.
In that counterattack, Kiki was lightning fast. I mean, you could see for Monkman, their defenders, they didn't have time to turn around and have a proper challenge, you know, immediately on the ball like they usually do. And that's what allowed the shot. That's what they got it through. They can make those shots. So it's just about putting them under pressure once again. And a 2-0 lead, I mean, that is so important here in Game 3.
Yeah, they cannot let up here, especially considering the fact that they have kept this clean sheet. It will give them so much confidence to continue and know that their defense has improved, if ever so slightly. We've seen some great chances from Monkman that might have needed conversion, but maybe some more to follow. Scythe is gonna deny, and with that sort of defense, you are not getting through these Kazakami defenders.
Nice clear from Kevin as well. Up for Kazakami, making sure that they not only touch the ball, but get the ball away, just to put Monkman on that back foot just a little bit more. Up for Juice, looking for that aerial play, the 50 down, Knight getting it past one, Solar to tip it up. Scythe will take this one away, looking for the air dribble out. Once again, Monkman players are just swarming this goal right here, again in the corner. Kevin getting beaten away. Monk once again blocked that one. Corner down, 40 seconds left. Knight will clear though, and no opportunity just now for Monkman.
Yeah, they're not letting it slip right now, and Monkmen are really struggling to break through here. It seems like a completely different roster than what we've seen previously, and they are really finding these midfield battles as a one-man army. They're playing those 1v2s, 1v3s, the 50s over and over again to keep as much presence as possible with only a single member being invested. Incredible work and an incredible sort of analysis that has been done here during the break between map 3 and map 3. Map 3 and map 2.
Map 3 and map 3.
Map 3 and map 3, yeah, absolutely. Mid-game.
No, but it's been really interesting watching Kevin in particular kind of drive around the field. Oh, what a save from Knight to keep that one away. Monkmen, no win for them. It's 0 seconds, need 2 goals. Won't happen either. Kazakami will take a clean Game 3 there. And yeah, I mean, they started putting those passes together, and they had those challenges in the midfield as well. And Monkmen were kind of struggling on that front, but yeah, Kazakami will take that Game 3, and I think they really needed it for momentum purposes. You know, it's so obviously it's so hard to reverse sweep.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there is that sort of, you know, sense of dread when you need to come back 4 games in a row and then ultimately when there's nothing left to kind of fall back upon. Now that you have some breathing room, we've seen these scenarios over and over again, even in higher stages of Rocket League. This is very doable. Some people might not think so, but Utopia Coliseum is a destination where many games get turned on their head, and especially in a best of 7, where you can look to even up the series, get that momentum behind you, and turn it into a best of 3. Let's see if Kazakami can look to pressure that sort of scenario onto Monkman.
Absolutely, and that pressure starts with Kevin. Definitely everyone watching, make sure you're kind of paying attention to Kevin's movements here in this game 4. I mean, last game, he was very aggressive on that front line on Monkman's side, even if he didn't have boost, even if it wasn't a perfect positioning, just making sure that he was there for the threat allowed them to do better.
Yeah, and now they're going to have to kind of replicate that presence in the midfield, but it could be a different Monkman we're seeing here for that same sort of level of play. They haven't scored a single goal in the previous one, might have had an extra bit of words in the actual locker room just before the game has unveiled itself in Utopia Coliseum, but we're going to have to see how much they actually bring forward here on the table, considering the fact that they haven't scored a single goal in the previous game against Kazakami. How about that?
Yeah, and considering the goal output in the first 2 games, it seems a little bit silly to say, a little bit surprising. But alas, I mean, all credit to Kazakami here. But like you said, you expected them to take probably a game or 2. But of course, a series, a best of 7 no less, takes more than that. They will have more work to do, especially here in game 4. Maybe to tie up the series, we'll have to see. Knight, no opportunity there. We'll go missing, whiffing on that one. Scythe fast up. Monk, actually, no, we'll beat Monk to that one. Off the corner once again for Monkman. Solar Force backwards. Kevin making it awkward. 50 once again. Coming through for Scythe as well. You'd like to see this pressure. Kind of a giveaway for Monkman here. Back to Knight. We'll have another touch off the corner, trying to get that middle. Will it drop down? Kevin for the shot. Saved away by Juice. But, you know, for Kazakami, they're knocking on the door here, Kiki.
Yeah, they're not laying up at all. It seems like they want another goal. They want to continue where they've started. But right now, they need to relieve themselves of the pressure that Monkman has put upon them. Scythe will try to do that with a backwards 50. I'm not sure how much room it's going to grant you, but Juice, making that awkward little bit of an aerial will give you enough room to work with here. Kevin with a 50 to get that deep sort of dive into the enemy territory as Scythe takes the skies here. He still has the control. Pass over to Knight, yeah, but they get each other's way and sadly ruin the moment. Oh, it could have been a great pass to start things off here.
And that was such an intricately, like, defined pass, or like threaded pass, you know, had to go wide around the defenders because they're covering that midfield side for the Monkman there. So if you're coming from the wings and getting those ground passes, or excuse me, the infield passes in, yes, it's harder, but it's so much more effective. Another shot from Monk here. Once again, Monkman not letting off the pressure. Kevin, though, has a lot to say. That stop will do a lot.
Yeah, he will give them some momentum to work with. Kevin looking for the shot, looking for the punishment. No, not found. Cleared away from the goal line, basically. And right now, they're going to have to struggle to think about that one, why it didn't go in. There was so many minuscule variants. That's a pre-jump from Knight as well. A bit ambitious, but still, it seems like Kazakami have regained their confidence fully throughout this series.
Yeah, you know what? I don't mind the ambition. Go for that shot.
Yeah.
Free jump if you want. You know, I mean, that could have been a solid pass as well. He had the reset, carried it for a long time. So maybe that's what it takes to break through in game 4, you know, after Monkmen kind of patched up their mistakes from game 3 here. Scythe looking for this one. Just kind of behind the scenes. Let's grab the boost. Monk looking for that fake down. Solar will take again off the wall. Kevin has done so much just to get these challenges through. It might not matter. Juice getting past one. Solar off the backward. Can they drop it back down? Monk is all the way back. A shot on target, bottom right. But the defenders were well there in advance.
Yeah, they are playing that defensive side game, and no team wants to make that extra mistake. That's why they're playing this one so safely in the midfield with the 50s, with the bombs, with the aerial plays. Oh no, again! Pass delivered, but yet again blocked by your own team. It's happened, but this time on the other side. Oh boy, this one is going to get a bit messy in the later stages.
Yeah, messy. I know Monkmen want to avoid that situation. Monk again turning around. They would like to take this game if they can help it, go up on match point, but Kazakami have a lot to say about that one. Scythe straight up to the ceiling, looking to follow up on that one as well. I think they got the reset down, looking to drop it as well. Solar is there. Kevin for the 50. Monkmen guarding their goal. Kazakami, I mean, they were all in formation. Another reset back the other way, looking for a second, but it's Solar to take it off the wall.
Yeah, it seems like they're still taking their time. What an angle from Solar! Able to get that sort of 45-degree flick out of nothing. And once more, he just gets out the protractor to get those null angles a bit of a chance to score him.
Yeah, and that window opened up. I mean, you could literally see the moment that the window opened up. You know, you had a player 0 boost off that back wall, not getting there. You had a player on that left side getting boost, not getting there. All you had to do was get that flick in, but Knight, they will not lie down.
Yeah, they have answered promptly. What used to take them 7 minutes now turned into basically 7 seconds, coming through as an answer straight from kickoff. They are not going to let this one go down early because a 3-1 is a very different storyline to come back from as opposed to a 2-all.
And this is the performance for Kazakami that they needed to stay in this one. Knight looking for a reset of that one. Bump coming through. Juice still gets there somehow. I mean, Kiki, some of these challenges from Monkman have just been ridiculous. A taste of their own medicine for Solar, getting that one away. The defense is there. Scythe to the middle. Kevin, it's such a slow shot. The defense can get there.
Yeah, they are kind of getting that sort of defensive rotation back in check after what happened, but now the defense has to be tested on the other end because Akami in a bit of trouble here. Caught out of rotation, now under pressure. Juice with the shot. Save, not enough! Just put to the side, and unfortunately, you do not have enough boost to keep it out.
Oh, and as soon as Scythe didn't get the touch there, I'm like, oh no. Oh no. And it just got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse. And it finally, they break through for Monkman. 20 seconds for Kazakami to not go on match point. They really need this game to go through. Kevin looking for that drop down. Knight will be there. Can they do it again? Off the back wall. It's a counterattack the other way. I think it might be on. It is. Scythe with the save, but Juice slams it home.
Oh, it feels like it could have been going home. It feels like Scythe could have given themselves a breather, maybe even a crazy pinch off the post. You never know. But Juice is not going to last wonder right there. He's going to deliver the answer and potentially bring themselves to series point unless we see some miracle in the next 9 seconds here.
Yeah, 5 seconds left. That fake will not help things. Actually, it will definitely hurt things. A 4th goal here for Monkmen, rubbing salt in the wound as we head into Game 5.
Yeah, they are looking a lot stronger than the previous game, able to score 4 as opposed to 0. Obviously, it seems like 4 is the bigger number of 0, and they will look to win the game off of it. And I will say, it doesn't feel like a 4-1 game. Obviously, I understand that Kazakami needed to throw in the kitchen sink to score and get themselves back into the game. But honestly, I think this is a very even game in terms of both offense, defense, and ultimately the pressure in the midfield, which is the most important talking point we've had throughout the actual series. You think they kind of fixed that up here?
I mean, look at the scoreboard, Kiki. 4-4-2 shots for Kazakami there. 4-2-2 for Monkmen. I mean, look at how many saves. 7 saves as a team for Monkmen there in Game 4. I mean, just a ridiculous defensive performance. And it has to be frustrating for Kazakami. And it's not that Kazakami had the best opportunities in the world in that game, right? It wasn't, you know, like shots that they should have made but didn't go in or some crazy save. But they were so consistent for Monkmen getting those saves, making sure they were solid on that back line. They slipped up a little bit in Game 3. We saw that, and that's when Kazakami took that game. Game 4, no mistakes. I'm expecting a similar performance here in Game 5, but we'll have to see.
It feels like it was the same sort of pressure that we've seen in Game 3, you know, that we've seen the healthy Kazakami in. But ultimately, it seems like the clinicality kind of fell off. We've seen that they have more shots, but they just couldn't turn them in. So the defense definitely locked in on the side of Monkmen. Although, Kazakami, they're looking in peril again here. Waterfall found. Will there be a block? Not quite, not yet. Has to leave that one here for Kevin to collect. Solar over the top, and that's an explosive start for Monkmen. They're looking to set a statement, and they're looking for the goal. That's crossbar, but it's finally turned in by Juice. Oh boy, oh boy.
Ooh, yeah, a definite intentional miss there from Monk. Just to get the pass on. Yeah, I wanted to share the points. Juice will finish that one off. 20 seconds here into Game 5. And what did I say, Kiki? I mean, I expected this kind of performance. I expected this pressure to not let up at all because Monkmen, they know how to play Rocket League. They know what happens when they let the pressure drop. Kazakami will gobble that up, say thank you very much, and take as many goals as they can. And you just cannot let that happen in Game 5, where momentum can ruin you. Forward for Scythe, Solar to receive, and it's pretty chill right now on Monkmen's side.
Yeah, and winning this one definitely gives you a bit of an edge, considering the fact that if you are able to close this one out in such a dominant fashion, you're going to have that confidence going up against Team Name, which you will need. I tell you that, you will need, because Aqua and the rest will not let you have it easily. And if we get that sort of night-on-night action again, it will be truly incredible to see. And I'm kind of excited to see if Monkman have what it takes to close this one out, but I wouldn't count Kazakami out as early as some others may.
Yeah, they've done some nice defensive plays here. I think, oh, that's a nice shot from Knight as well. Just an open net to look at, to shoot at, and to enjoy. That's the equalizer.
I mean, just gorgeous way to kind of play around the ball, able to kind of grab that sort of pass and the bump. Every single player having a notion at play, and that's what Kazakami is missing, that sort of team play where everyone is involved at a certain point to provide for the goal.
Solar off the kickoff. A few mind games the other way. Had no boost. Juice trying to do the same thing, but had boost as well. Monk, I think, has just done so much as well on the passing front. I think Monkmen are just so fast on that challenge. Oh, Juice actually getting bypassed there. Monk back the other way. Does have to pick the boost. Looking to start from square one here. Has plenty of time and the air dribble as well. No challenge. Looking for the reset. What a pop. Top left off the crossbar. Can they get it out? A teammate goes flying by and Solar has to take over.
Feels like they should have converted to that. It feels like the second man should have at least had a shot or a backboard touch coming through, because Kazakami were under so much pressure that they couldn't have gone out as easy as some may think. But the fact that they got away with that and they have a chance to score could turn this game on its head if they are to convert the next goal.
Oh, and I don't know if you saw that, but some hesitation there as they tried to figure out who was going for the ball on that Kazakami side. But yeah, oh, what a shot from Kevin. Notice the window again. Ground shot coming through, and Kazakami back on top.
And I'm going to go back to something that you have said just before it. Look at Kevin's movement before Game 4. Look at Kevin's momentum. Well, Kevin took a day off in Game 4, but he's right back into the action here. Game 5 seems like his turf, and he's not going to let this one go away lightly, because they won that Game 4 back. They feel like they had the shots. They feel like they had the pressure. They just didn't get the goals.
Yeah, and that's a testament to Kazakami's defense really shoring up here, because Monkmen have not stopped firing at their goal. They've actually coming across, getting the pass through the air, and then coming for the bump as well. So you have a triple threat. Basically, every time they're on the ball for Monkmen, you've got to watch out for their bumps as well. It just makes it so hard to deal with. But 2 minutes left. That's their focus for Kazakami. Maybe get another one, but at least keep their lead. That's the goal for right now.
Yeah, oh, under 50 here coming from Scythe once more, and potentially on Solar. There will be some room for Juice to work with here, but ultimately, seems like all lanes are closed off for the time being here. No way through zone, and Scythe has to kind of challenge this one earlier. Solar is looking for that bump. Nightya able to bail him out early. That's an early commitment there, looking for the shot. It's a little bit too wide. The clinicality lacking on the side of Monkman here. Could look to get punished. Kevin all the way, 50, not going to land. And that one is just going to stay afloat a little while longer here.
Up for Monk, looking for that one. Kind of bypass, glided through 250s there. It still carried it through. Now you're getting a reset off that one. Using it to side dash, back to the ball once again. Leaving it for Scythe. Demo coming through. Some nice communication from Kazakami. Shored that up a little bit. Juice crashing in. I thought maybe that would have ended badly for Kazakami there. Demo coming through. I believe, no, it was not Kevin actually coming through. Getting that challenge, like you said, just being aggressive in that midfield and making sure there's someone there. Scythe a free clear to go through. Can they get it on? Back to the midfield. I don't know. That one kind of baffled me, Kiki. Off?
I have a feeling that there was no one back. I believe that was the last man punished. If they concede here, that's a talking point for another time. We will get a look at another angle from that challenge soon, hopefully, eventually, maybe. We'll see how much we have in store on the back end of the front team. But in this sort of same sense, we cannot let this one go astray for now, because I assume it's in the mind of Kazakami as well. That one potentially could have been a simple goal, but what do we know? Maybe it works out for them anyway, though. Solar doesn't think so. That's crossbar. That could be dangerous, but thankfully they clear the danger, and Kazakami stay alive for a little while longer.
Every time Monk charges up, goes low, and then goes for the shot, it's just like, oh, what are they going to do? Is it going to go in? Under fire so often. What a save from Knight, diving out to get that shot from Juice. Once again, Monk in the midfield. They have to get this through. 3 seconds to tie up the series here for Kazakami. Triple threat formation. Bump coming through. Monk to keep it up. Can they get one on the wall? Back on the ground, and Kazakami makes it even.
Well, they are closing in. They're creeping up to Monkman, and maybe it took them an extra game or two to wake up in the first one, especially with that 6-0 result, but ultimately, Kazekami, I have a feeling this is what they're actually capable of. Their defense is what it's actually keeping them in. I don't think it's just about the fact that they're getting lucky, they're getting overwhelmed, but not getting scored on. I think their defense is genuinely incredible, and I think holding opponents at bay could be potentially, a talking point of how this team tends to play. And they use those counterattacks, don't they, Tibbles?
Yeah, they really do. And I want to point out, extremely relevant to your point, by the way, 6 shots by Monk. And how many goals? 0. 0 goals, 6 shots. I mean, if that doesn't say how good Kazekami's defense was in that game 5, I don't know what was. But what matters...
Fun fact. Yep. I believe we're getting the angle. I believe we just got the angle. I didn't miss it on the feed, but yeah, we did get the actual angle from the replay, and we were able to see if potentially there was a player, if there was a clear, but we will have to take another look at that. I'm just taking a look at the extra replay. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get just as early, but ultimately, it was around the 40-second mark, so we'll eventually get that. But for now, let's focus on Neo Tokyo, and we'll talk about that angle later on.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that one later. I'm very interested to see that one as well. But heading into this game here, again, it's so important for Kazekami. They really need this one as well. Again, match point for Monkman. You got to do it again. Go back to the drawing board. All right, what response do you need this time? It could have been a big one, actually. Juice dropping in as well. Monkman trying to get a few shots on goal already. Kevin coming through. Nice little pass to the left. Sight to pick it up. Pass one. No, Monk. No issues there. No nonsense defending, and it's out.
Yeah, and now they have a lot of work to pick up on because Monkman are in full force. 2 bombs beating out 1 player. How much more work do you need to do to get your team to help you out right there? It feels like the goal was open for the taking, but no second man there to trust that play.
And it's so rare to see a player, like, you see talented players all the time, right? But to see them consistently getting touches on the ball and then bumping multiple players on the other side of the pitch, I mean, I just haven't really seen a game or a player where they're that dominant in that sense. Monk to Juice, that's a wonderful pass, but the defense for Kazekami is there. Scythe one out. Plenty of boost as well, looking for the reset. Knight to follow up, but a miss. Juice, no, can't get there. Kevin in the midfield once again. Again, a good 50 for Solar. I thought maybe they had just left it, which would have spelled bad news for them. Again, flung forward by Kazekami here. And again, they look like a much different team than they did in Game 1 and Game 2.
Yeah, and it seems like comfort is the name of the game here because it seems like Monkman are simply playing to their strengths here. They're using the advantages of their rotations, their sort of bump play, their demo-heavy playstyle to make it work. What a redirect by Kevin, but no one to follow up. I believe the ball is a little bit too high. They're just kind of peppering the backboard of Monkman, yet no one left to follow that one. So it will just be a simple shot from Monkman, although it doesn't yield any results. So it seems like they have given this one another look, but I feel like there needs to be more answers for the side of Kazekami in the offense.
Yeah, that shot was simple, but it was scary as well. That one's going top left. I don't know. I didn't see if it was saved away or off the post. Might have heard a ding. Nice little save from Scythe as well, just to get that a little bit downfield as well. But I mean, those shots where, especially those plays where Kazekami, they kind of they challenged for the ball in Monkman half. That's a shot on target. Again, saved away by Solar. But they challenged the ball in Monkman half, and then they just kind of left. They just kind of dispersed. And when that happens, you allow Monkman to set up that offense exactly the way you want to, and you will take shots on your net. That's when you could concede. And, I hope to not see that from Kazekami again, because it really does not lead to a good road.
Yeah, and now diving across, looking for Kevin here. It seems like Kazekami are still playing that counter-attack game. And as you said, the road is a little bit dim. The tunnel doesn't look as lightful as usual. Scythe, though, able to put some pressure on Knight here with the initial fake. Oh, cannot beat out Monk. That could have been one for the highlight reel, but ultimately it does come afloat towards the Monk ball, although Kevin's there for the shot. Kevin places it, and it does come into the fruition of a Kazekami goal.
And look at that. Kevin went for that challenge. Fast to it right. Didn't hit the ball. Doesn't matter. He hit that player anyway. Forced them all the way backwards. And you know what? turned around, was still in position to receive that pass and put a shot on target as well. And again, that's what I said. Pay attention to Kevin's movement. It's been so enjoyable to watch. Game 6 here. Kazakami are fighting for their tournament lives here. Their grand final ticket, Kiki, and it all comes down to right here.
Yeah, it's not gonna last long. The chances are gonna look to dwindle away as Champions Field seems to be but just around the corner in that same sense as Naitya is taking to the skies here, looking for the reset, potentially maybe something extra to talk about here, trying to get some time off the clock, and he has done that wonderfully. But here we go, a fake from Monkman to kind of change that sort of direction of attack and potentially maybe look to get this one back into their grasp and potentially a series in their palms.
Plenty of time. Oh,
what?
I was gonna say plenty of time for Monkman to score. You know, they might come back. No, this is the night show. 1 minute, 21 seconds left, and it's a 2-0 lead for Kazakami here.
Yeah, they are not gonna give them an easy day's work here. And Kazakami, we thought this one might be a blow-up. I even thought that Monkman take it as a game 6 here, right now. But it seems like Champions Field is smiling upon us, although it's still way too early to tell. 75 seconds of Rocket League. There can be plenty of action here in due time, as we have Solar breaking away and looking for that early shot. But look at the defense, it's so well spaced out from Kazakami.
Yeah, a lovely little touch from Scythe there as well. Took it around, wasted a lot of time, got the flick up, past the defender. Needed to get that kind of touch. Kevin, once again, look at those half rotations. He has 0 boost in the tank. It doesn't even matter. He just wants to be on the ball, and so that they're not, you know. Knight, again, bringing that one forward. A shot on target. Now it's a little bit dangerous. Scythe making that save away. Back in the corner once again. 50 for Solar. Monk actually really up far field there. Knight to carry it forward up to the ceiling once again. Can they get there? Kevin to take a shot. It's off. Knight off the sidewall. Scythe is the last one back. Third man. Oh, they went. Can they get there? It's just floating around this Monk men net. But you know what? That doesn't matter. Yeah. They have a 2-0 lead. If it's 3, great. But if it's not, it doesn't matter. They made it to game 7.
Yeah, absolutely. 10 seconds is plenty of time to get this one in their own sort of fashion. They really had this one under control from start to finish. It seems like Monkman weren't even a threat in this one, and they're gonna have to battle it to slot that final grand final ticket. And if they don't get it, it's all curtains, 3rd place, au revoir. But that was an incredible comeback from Kazakami. Can they finish it, Tibbles?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, you asked me earlier, right? Who am I thinking for this one? I said Monkman for the losers final and then team name for the grand final. I don't know. I kind of taking it to game 7, and not just taking it to game 7, but the way they took it to game 7, right? Game 1 and game 2, frankly, did not go well for Kazakami. They just didn't. But they brought it back. They won the 2 games, or excuse me, I think it took 3 games to get a 2 points back there for Kazakami. But they made it to game 7. They fought back. I would think they have momentum on their side, but can Monkmen recreate that formula that they seem to strike so many times? They would strike fast and they would strike hard. And after a while, Kazakami got kind of used to that and was able to fling it away and deflect it. But game 7, what can you change? What can you do?
Champions Field, change is going to be a bit of a rough one to approach, considering the fact that we have only 5 minutes to decide our grand finalists. The difference between $750 total, 3rd and 2nd place, and maybe even the 1st place if you get yourself those 3 extra grand to challenge team name for it. Only 6 cars on the field to decide where this ball goes and how many times it strikes at each net. That will only be the ticket onwards, and you're gonna have to find it yourself. Let's get on the way. Game 7, Champions Field.
5 minutes to decide it all here. Can Monkmen recreate that good beginning that they had in earlier games and set a tone here for game 7? Or will Kazakami make a statement, get a team goal, get something going, and carry it from there as they did in game 6? It's Solar this time in the midfield. Seeding it for Monk. Nice little backflip there to keep it away. Up for Scythe, and for now it's in the Kazakami corner.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to kind of reset from 0, but Kazakami have been looking so fluid, transitioning defense into offense lately. We've said we worried about that midfield play from them, but ultimately they leveled up. Solar almost kind of capitalizing on that mistake now, but the demo could look to be the mistake and doom of Monkman. Ultimately it comes astray, and they do calm things down here for a change, but the demos, the physical game, it's leveling up here, Tibbles.
It really is. A swirl of defense there from Kazakami. They do get it out. Kevin back to the midfield, though. Monk to turn around on it fast. Again, the midfield for Solar. Just ascended forward, actually just clearing that one. Kind of a throwaway touch. Again, Kevin to block that one away. Keeping Juice on the sidelines here. Monk up fast. Monk up strong as well. Looking for that one down. Up for Scythe. Could have been a mistake. Solar was almost ready to shoot that on target. Once again, this pressure from Monk men. Looking for the reset. Does get the musty as well. Kevin in the corner. Just trying their best to clear it out.
Yeah, Monk still applying the pressure. Though there's the challenge and there's the shot from Juice. Oh, they've applied the pressure. They've invested every single player. There was not a single Monkman player behind that 5-yard box, and they were just diving for that ball. They find the first one.
No, I saw that, and as soon as I handed it over, I'm like, they're about to score, aren't they? They're about to put it in the net, and they did, absolutely. You're completely correct. Their positioning was just so aggressive, and for good reason. They took advantage of that opportunity that, you know, they had afforded themselves. Monk looking to make it another one. Kazakami, I think, Kiki, here in Game 7, they have to keep it at 1. You know, if they score maybe once, but you gotta keep it as low as possible and give yourself time to respond back.
Yeah, the biggest thing about a comeback is not even allowing it to come into fruition. You don't want the team to kind of start getting those numbers against you. You want to kind of stem the bleeding, but as we mentioned it, Tibbles, guess who's back at it again? To kind of thwart us our sayings.
It's Juice. It's just Juice leading the line, man. And you can kind of see, I love that play because he's a threat on the bump as well. I mean, you can see the defenders kind of watching him like, oh, what is he going to do? Actually receives the pass instead and puts it in. And it's just such an effective tactic here for Monkmen. They're so fast and strong on the ball, like I said. To the midfield. Doesn't make it there, though. Monk will crash that one. Knight through on the backboard. Juice coming in, crashing the net, dropping down. Scythe has to make that save on the goal line. It's again Eckhardt in the corner, looking for that demo, finds it. Solar again, no boost, but staying on it, similar to how Kevin did in those previous games. Knight all the way back and still had no boost. And for now, it just looks so tough for Kazakami to break out of their half.
Yeah, they're not letting them breathe at all, and right now, Kazakami need that space. Scythe is going to look to create it, but look at the recovery from Solar. Able to just grab that flip, even though he was bumped off of the same wall, and now straight into the offense. He delivers the pass. Juicy almost there. He's looking for that extra finish. Juice once more, hat-trick hero, maybe not quite. Nightya able to get some semblance of hope here, but how do you get out of this pressure from Monkman?
Three-man passing play from Monkman, and then you think, all right, they missed that one, maybe it's over. No, a fourth one coming in. Another player half rotating in, taking another shot, looking for that one. Kevin to carry it one through, getting that 50. It's again in front of the goal here. Good clear out from Monk in the midfield. Solar trying to get back. Juice instead. Nice shot. It's straight up. Kevin has to get there. Knight one out as well. Plenty of time, but this time is ticking down.
Yeah, and it seems like it's all over, but ultimately the pressure does tend to change in an instant. One goal needed to kind of break through that floodgate. It seems like as soon as we get Kazakami online, they might be able to find something to talk about here in this Game 7. There's the demo. A trade as well from Monk here onto Kevin. Nightya trying to beat out the pressure here, but Solar is quicker. Even with zero boost, look at those wall dashes being utilized in time. Kevin trying their damnedest to stay alive, and they ultimately do, but at what cost? As there is so much pressure still from Monkman. Feels like this game is completely played on one half of the field.
And Monk is just doing their best to be just as annoying as possible, as interfering as possible, just standing straight in front of you, parking right in front of you, bumping away, stealing your boost, just doing whatever they can to disrupt your rotations and your flow of play. And with 40 seconds left, I mean, it's working so far against Kazakami here, looking for that fake. Monk will clear out. Could be bad news. Knight will receive in the midfield here. Looking for that pass straight up, though. Maybe not the best option, but the option they took in the moment. Get in the corner for Monkmen. Maybe one for Scythe here. Could be on target again off the side. Time is ticking down. We're approaching 20 seconds here for Kazakami, and what a clear out for Monk.
Yeah, and that should do it right there. 15 seconds. The ball's living there. Juice, maybe the hat-trick hero. Doesn't really connect with it. But it will be Solar to find the difference there. Kazakami, they fought very bravely. They won over the hearts of the people, but ultimately it wasn't enough. The strength of Monkman showed through, and the Game 7 firmly in their hands now.
Yeah, a lot of positive signs from Kazakami here, but one word keeps coming to mind when I've watched Monkmen's gameplay today is unrelenting. They are relentless. They just have been on point. They have not stopped. They've never let it drop. I mean, there are a few games where, they kind of let Kazakami back in, but overall, man, one of the, it went to game 7, but especially early on in that series, Monkmen were just dominating. And, it almost came back for Kazakami, but Monkmen found their roots. They found that game plan once again and were able to execute when it all mattered in game 7.
Yeah, I mean, they really delivered on some of those pressure moments. We thought we've seen the highest level of Monkmen in some previous games, but I feel this was even a higher level than that initial 6-0 game. And yes, this might be contradictory because, that 6-0 game is nowhere near the 3-0 game, obviously. But it seems like the evolved Kazakami had such a better defense, yet it feels like Monkmen evolved again to outpressure them, outperform them, and ultimately come away with the win there, Tibbles, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was talking about, as we entered game 7 is what is your response? What do you have left? How can you change things? Because sometimes you get in your head, you're like, all right, this is game 7. Do we kind of do the same thing that won us game 6? Do we do something different to switch it up? Do we wait and respond to the other team, as they execute their game plan? There's a lot of nuance that goes into it, but Monkmen, they reclaimed that confidence that they just had earlier in the series. And, I love Kazakami as a team. I really wanted them to go, and, we got to see a great game 7. But when you watch Monkmen play, you can just tell they want to win.
Yeah, and speaking of, there was a moment in the game we mentioned that we were wondering, was that goal stolen away from Kazakami by their own player? And I believe there was a redirect from Nitya, and our beautiful production crew was able to salvage the replay, and here we will take a look at it. It seems like it was a deep clear by Sypher and was looking for the top corner, but ultimately, Nitya just intercepts it. I don't know if they would have made it on defense, but it could have been something that changed the pace of the game completely. Although they still won that game, they will not be minded it, but amazing work to kind of, still pull through. Game 7, Kazakami, and also amazing work from the production crew, I must say. I didn't expect us to actually have that sort of angle ready and set up. But Tibbles, I mean, one more look at the bracket. Would you please give us a little bit of a rundown what happened in the lower stages here, and we will get ourselves the previous matchups from Monkmen and Team Name that we already have played in the uppers winner round. So run us through that one and run us through what actually happened in their lower run.
Yeah, so for Team Name, like you said, they're waiting in that grand final. They swept Kazakami to get there as well, 3-0. It would have been a great rematch in the grand final, Kiki, to see them come all the way through the lower final, beat Monkmen here, and go to the grand final. But alas, we cannot have that as well. Coming through, a lot of sweeps in the lowers as well. M80 sweeping through, then losing in game 5. Lob again coming out in that lower quarterfinal. I really wanted to kind of see them go to maybe the lower final, but that's not quite happening, unfortunately. And so I was kind of hoping the best for them. That is Oath Hockey and Adam for Lob there. So a team that's played a lot together as well. And overall, I mean, are there any matchups you want to talk about specifically, Kiki?
Oh, absolutely. Monkmen and Team Name have already played against each other in the first round of the upper portion of the bracket there, as Team Name has beaten them 3-2. It was an incredible Game 5 spectacle from Wofford, and in that sort of same sense, this is their rematch journey. Monkmen, if you look to the top left corner here, they have lost. And they have been dropped down by Team Name, and they have clawed their way up back through incredible teams over and over again. ET, Blobs, coming through M80 themselves, and then Kazakami to ultimately meet Team Name once more in the grand final. Now that's a storyline I'd love to see here, Tibbles, and if there's any input on that one, that simply seems incredible to kind of get that revenge story completed, but it's gonna take twice the actual effort here. And why is that, Tibbles?
Well, this is a bracket reset, Kiki. There's no game advantage. They'll come in to that first best of 7 0-0 in the series score. But if Monkmen are able to take that first best of 7, then we go to a second best of 7. Now, the reason for that, if anyone is thinking, wow, that seems a little bit unfair, that's because Team Name has not lost a series yet, Kiki. They have not lost at all this tournament, outside of the Swiss stage, if they did lose there. But they didn't go to the lower rounds, and that's why they get that extra life.
Yeah, and well, ultimately, that extra life could prove to be the difference maker. But for now, we will just head to a very short break. It won't even last a minute, trust me. Okay, I'm making production sweat a little bit. Maybe 2 minutes, maybe 2 minutes. Okay, yeah. But we will take a very short break, guys, and don't go anywhere. Grand finals are right around the corner. We want to get this going as soon as possible. So stay tuned, grab a snack, grab a trolley, and we'll back right at you.
me free your mind.
And welcome back to the Frost Esports Crawler Cup. I'm Tibbles with Kiki on the desk right here, and we are bringing the grand final to you guys right here. Monkmen and Team Name going at it, Kiki. Monkmen fought all the way through the lower bracket, losing in Game 5 against Team Name in upper round 1. Made it all the way back here. Has to do a bracket reset to make it happen, but they've given themselves a chance.
Yeah, absolutely, and they will have a team to go over, because this is not going to be an easy one. We've seen a team that really had that chance to take down Team Name early, but kind of failed at the final hurdle. Now they have a chance at revenge. Monkman climbing back up from the depths of the lower bracket to finally set things straight. And who do you have as a player to watch in this scenario here?
It's got to be Aqua. Aqua has come through again. I had broadcasted his first RLCS match with Rogue, and so much talent with that person, that player over there, and just a standout talent as well. Played so well. Hazo and Knight round out the team as well. Talented players in their own right, but for me, it's got to be Aqua. And what about you?
Yeah, I was gonna agree, but I want to see more from Monk. I want to see a little bit more from Monk, and in that sort of same sense, I saw Monk immediately dominate the first game in terms of that sort of passion against, Kazakami, and I'd love to see that sort of level of play kind of revitalized against a stronger team like Team Name, alright? I really want to see that coming in, and ultimately, I think they kind of take this one in a stellar fashion here, Tibbles.
Yeah, I agree. I think Monkman will try to employ the same strategy. Now, Team Name is a faster team. I would say, at least in general, these players are so fast, and I think that will be the challenge here for Monkman coming through, is can they execute that strategy, at the pace that these players move at?
Yeah, and well, time for talk is over. Time for action is upon us again. Time to crown a champion, or time to set ourselves on another best of 7 road. Time is only gonna tell. It's gonna be the brute force of Team Name up against the Monkmen.
Team Name and Monkman going at it here. Juice, Solar, and Monk doing everything they can, giving everything they got just to get to this stage right here. So much money on the line, so much pride on the line as well coming through. Team Name were just chilling and watching that match, Kiki. Had nothing to do except play this grand final, and I'm expecting that to come out.
Yeah, and now it's no bars held right now. There's time for friendships, and there is also time for rivalries. Well, these players know each other pretty well. We have arguably seen that over and over throughout the scenes. They've usually played on each other's teams as well. They are very popular amongst the NA scene, and now looking to start off early here, Team Name almost get themselves a chance if that one was on target.
Yeah, almost do. Starting off this game, Monk with that shot to top right, Hazo with that save away. Knight getting that touch as well. Downfield for Aqua. Follow up on it. Hazo will, abandon that one. Trying to go back the other way. I thought maybe it would be a team play to start off this game 1 here, but it'll be Solar actually on that side. Coming through. Monk in the mid. Knight, can they carry through? Will fake instead. Up for Juice. Back to Solar. Looking for that pass shot on. And both teams just kind of feeling each other out right now.
Yeah, it seems like they're looking for a little bit extra time. Maybe don't need the water save coming through from Juice. And this one's just getting started. Solar down the other end. Hazo makes it though. And this is a game of statements. It feels like the first game will look to set the tone. But speaking of tone, both teams have set it straight. We've had near misses, near saves, and it's all about grabbing that first one. It's going to give you that second win and potentially a chance to take it all.
Yeah, I said that in the instant I did. The play sped up, shot on target. Looking for that one, pinch back the other way. Monk to take it right. Again, Monkman in orange here. Knight to look for that one as well on the opposing side. Looking for that demo, the physical play again. Monkman didn't really have that to contend with against Kazakami last series. Looking for that one once again. Clear out from Knight. And again, that could have been dangerous here for Monkman. Hazo will have it instead. Up off the crossbar there. Backboard coming out. Juice to Monk. Monk to carry this one. We've seen them do it before, but it's just a flick up to the corner.
Yeah, and now they are going to have to work for it in that sort of same sense because Team Name are under a lot of pressure here, and we know what Monkmen do best when the pressure is around, although Hazo breaks through it quite dividendly. Aqua to disguise, Aqua with the reset, but no more. They slow down the pace, and now they're going to have to look to rotate around some mistakes or even bump plays to find an answer here.
And those mechanics from Aqua will be a constant threat on Monkmen here. It's not really something they had to worry about last series, you know, similar to something else, but it's something that Team Name brings, and we've seen how effective it is as well, beating them in Game 5 previously. Solar up to the ceiling now, trying to get this one. It's already halfway through Game 1 here. No goals just yet. Knight to take this one. Looking to carry forward, fly forward, reset. Got it as well. Back on the wall. Hazo, wall dribble. Juice absolutely slammed them away, and it's a save from Solar.
Yeah, not letting it slip away at this stage. Juice trying to get that back pass, but intercepted immediately by Hazo, not giving them any room to work with. Demoed for that instance though as well. Monk trying to create that extra bit of pressure, but ultimately thwarted by the sort of defense that Kazukami are putting up. Sorry, not Kazukami, a bit of a throwback, wow. Team Name in that sense, and now a strike back immediately, and it seems like Team Name have that higher level of defense in that sense of being able to thwart Monkmen under all that pressure.
And Monkman just thwarted an opportunity that went literally top left kick. I mean, I think the ball was halfway in the net, and the player gets it out there. But once again, Aqua, fast, mechanical as well, taking advantage of that situation, and it's the first on the board.
Yeah, not really letting it slip up in regular moments. He's looking for those moments to just capitalize on the sleepiness of the defense, and he's found it there. Monkman not really paying an eye to him. He comes out of the shadows and strikes again. He's fluid as water, and that's why he's named Aqua.
And for Monk, that aggression might actually come back to bite you, something that Knight noticed as well, looking for that fake. Monk, that shot off target, coming off the side. It was a close one. Nice little turn as well. Monk just seems to be ever-present, omnipresent on this field, just everywhere. Half rotation there, looking for the dribble now. Juice on the prowl, looking for that one away. What a save to get it off the post and away. And Team Name, I don't know how they let that one out. Somehow they're still on the counterattack, looking for the save as Monk.
They're not allowing them any room to breathe in this stage because they are looking to capitalize upon anything they are given. And right now, they're going to have to take the chances when they are allowed to take them because it doesn't seem like there's going to be that many. Team Name have locked down this midfield, but Monk, they are still scrambling to get that goal back, scrambling to get the first one on the board as well, and potentially even get themselves set straight for the rest of this sort of series.
Yeah, and Team Name, as Monk makes that save, I mean, they're just a little bit better at setting themselves on defense before the shot happens. I think that's something that a lot of teams struggle against Monkmen with because Monkmen are just so fast and so direct on the goal there. Solar, a little tip to the side. Could be an opportunity. Aqua to bounce it in. 2-0, 19 seconds left. This one might be over for Game 1.
Yeah, it could be looking like a little bit of a late show here from Team Name, but ultimately, you don't really need much more. 2 goals, keep the pressure in the midfield, and cement yourselves a solid start into the game. This is what Monkmen have delivered upon Kazukami in the previous bout, but now it seems like a different story. The tables have turned, and right now, with 10 seconds remaining in the clock, I'm not sure what sort of miracle can save you from this.
Yeah, maybe not. About 5 seconds left. It could have been another one for the road as well. But no defenders back. They might just get one, maybe.
Okay.
Monk slips that one through. 1 second left. I mean, technically, it could still happen.
Yeah, we have seen a goal, which I didn't think possible, in EWC within 1 second from a kickoff goal. So ultimately, it does only take 1 second to get that ball up and running, to get and keep it up, and maybe get that goal. Team Name get first game. And that one comes to an abrupt end. Really didn't expect that one to really go as favorably into that kickoff as it was for Team Name. But ultimately, a great, great start from Team Name. Monkmen showing a little bit of resistance there as well. Look at the shots. 10-9. Really a close bout.
Yeah, really close battle as well. A lot of saves on either side for Monkmen. And again, that kind of reflects something I had said earlier about Monkmen, is that I think so often they're on the offensive side. So often they're on the prowl. They're executing their strategy. They're following their offensive rotations and those kind of routes. I don't think they weren't forced backwards very often. But what this team has shown for Monkmen is that even when they are forced backwards, they still took this team to game 5 in that round 1. I would expect, we didn't do predictions, I don't think, but I would expect them, at least not down to the game, but I would expect this to at least go to game 6, if not game 7. And, you know, a really good start from Team Name here. It's not surprising to see. But Monkman, they always look like they're back in it. They always look like they're still in it. Looking for these shots here. I know they'll try again.
Yeah, and it seems like they are sort of bringing themselves to warm up to the opposition. It takes a little bit of a step up from Kazakami to Team Name. Nothing against Kazakami. It's just reality in that sort of sense. And Team Name really coming into this one as underdogs throughout the entire playoffs, but they have stamped themselves the winner's grand final ticket from that 3-2 Swiss stage, which ultimately could have led them to being out completely. They came up against Lunar and the rest of the squad. It could have been fatal for them. Lunar had an amazing squad, it was close, it went down to game 5, and Team Name was the ones to make it through. Now they're on the verge of being crowned champions in this bout. Let's see if they can really make that happen, or if Monkman look to delay them a little bit further.
And an interesting little interaction there as well, because Juice, oh, that might be a shot. It will be a shot, it'll be in as well. Hazo forced backwards, can't make that save. First on the board for Juice.
Yeah, brilliant speed coming through, and Monkmen are the ones to strike first this time. You think this is a bit of a different approach from them, or same old, until you break down the defense?
I'm not sure, because, you know, again, I was trying to talk about something, and then they scored. So I'm going to go back to that real quick. But something Juice was doing is that he actually faked the ball, you know, so many times he's gone up, and sometimes faked after. But this time he faked, you know, on that first occasion, on the ground, kept it there. But the Team Name defense didn't fall for it. They were just chilling. They were just waiting for him to do something. And that, to me, shows a team has confidence. To me, Team Name are not worried about this right now. Knight, another shot on here. Aqua looking for that one. You know, going supersonic as well. Hazo up, no boost, though. Juice will be there instead. Aqua in the midfield. Can Knight pop it up? Up for Solar, off the ceiling, has Juice as well. Bumped away, coming across. You know, for now, Monkmen are keeping pressure.
Yeah, now they are looking at that sort of level of play where Monkman really truly evolved. It feels like they adapted their team. We've seen this happen against Kazakami. The later the game went on, the harder it became to kind of yield underneath their pressure. Well, not yield underneath their pressure. And Monkman really kind of level up the stage and the playing field in front of you at any given time. So Team Name, they're going to have to kind of come back at this one and really look into these sorts of games as an analysis view, as an upgrade potentially, and what they need to change to deal with Monkman. As so far, they're having the lead, but they're not granting Team Name any sort of pressure back.
Yeah, and something that's been missing is Monk. You know, just getting those bumps, you know, when they would go up for an air dribble, but not only that, they would bump maybe 1 or 2 players on the defending team. I have not seen that happen yet. Team Name have been doing a little bit better job, you know, being in the right spots, being in the right positions, being fast to those spots as well. Juice coming down from the sky. Can they drop it down? Solar again on the sidewall to the middle, so far away, keeping it close for the 50. Monk again sideways, leaves it. Hazo has the challenge. Awkward for Solar, but some really nice teamwork from Monkman there to save that one away.
Yeah, and it seems like they might need to run this one in a fashionable offensive-defensive stance where you need to fight for the midfield. You need to fight for that second-man follow-up, because if you don't, Juice might look to punish it. Juice looks for the angle. Solar is there first as well. And that's a second coming through from Monkman. Even though Monk wasn't a part of it, the team is still firing on all cylinders.
And that's such a good pass, too. You know, recognizing that the angle wasn't the easiest, that a defender was right there. But when you put it across the 6, out of reach, to your teammate, there's really nothing the defender can do. It'll be a second here for Monkman, and an appropriate response after going down in game 1 here. Hazo looking for this one. Awkward on their own half, but they'll drive it forward. Solar to take over, up on the roof. What can they do? Back down for Knight, losing that one away. Up for Hazo. Again in the midfield. Monk has that 50. Again, Monkmen are just stifling this ball in that half.
Yeah, they're not giving them any room to breathe right now, and when Monkmen are trying to choke that field from you, choke that air away from you, you're not going to really have an easy time breaking through. Hazo has done that multiple times, we've seen in game 1, but ultimately, it seems like it's game 2 that's a different sort of storyline for Monkmen here. They're in charge, and they are not giving Aqua or the rest of the players any room to breathe. Look at that, insta challenges over and over again.
Yeah, it's a challenge again in the midfield, winning this one back. for Team Name. What a pinch from Aqua. It could just be in of the post is out. So unlucky not to score that. Cooks here coming through. It would have half the deficit. Oh, they're going to be regretting that one.
They need a lot of room to work for it now. Minute 12 on the clock, and there's really not much room to work with, especially considering the Monkman offense is still leveling up. They want more goals. They are not going to stop here. Juice is the one to kind of intervene on the behalf of the corner belonging to the team in blue. Looking for Monkey. He could look to make a statement. And we've said that he's fallen asleep, but he is back at it again with a stellar goal of a double tap.
Just makes it look simple, just makes it look easy. And that really all stemmed from Aqua having no boost and losing the ball in the midfield. And, you know, they were just taking it and saying, thank you very much, I'm going to take that. You know, it did really well to score it as well, but that's really par for the course here for Monkman. Aqua trying to drop this one down. Knight an awkward challenge. It left Hazo trying to cover that third man position as well as trying to get some kind of possessive touch, but it just didn't work. Now 35 seconds left here for Team Name. Monk, that'll be wide open to take that one for a fourth.
I have a feeling that they are looking to just kind of set a statement here in game 2. They know they've won it at the 3-goal point, I'd say, in 35 seconds, but just stamping more and more, showing the power that they can bring, truly kind of makes Team Name quake a little bit here in that sort of sense of play. And if they do come away with this one unharmed in terms of keeping a clean sheet, Team Name are going to have to wonder, what do we need to do to score against Monkman?
Yeah, they really are. And I think Monkman, you know, once they're doing well, they really start to pile on the pressure. It's just a question of, okay, when the game resets, you know, what can you do? And this happens a lot in best of sevens, Kiki, where one team will have a really dominant performance or convincing performance there in game 1, and then the other team comes back in game 2 and, you know, either has a similar kind of blowout but on the other side, or, you know, kind of a closer match but still takes the game 2 in the end. And so it's not completely unusual to see kind of a wish-wash, you know, one way, game 1 one way, game 2 the other. It definitely happens. But game 3 is kind of where things get interesting after now, because again, Monkmen, we've talked about their pressure. I've talked about, like, Monk, for example, their physical plays coming through after the dribble, you know, the follow through after the dribble, after they pass, after they get the ball off, they're still involved in the play and disrupting the defense of the opposing team. Now, that question is whether that will still disrupt Team Name. I didn't see much movement from them that game. They didn't look totally comfortable that game, and that shows in the scoreboard.
Yeah, it feels like Team Name really have some work to do here, but where do they find it? Do they find it in sort of a backline rotation where they're able to kind of boom the ball to a player that's already upfield and finally break through that defense? Or do they just fight for the midfield, which seems to be Monk's game? So what truly could be the answer here? I guess we're about to find out, as it will be the third game upon us here to deliver us that sort of same symbolic result. Knight's AFK.
Yeah, Knight's not moving. We may have an issue. Might have to restart. I mean, they might not even need Knight. Oh, Aqua coming back the other way. I thought maybe they had it, but lost connection. Yeah, disconnect. That should be a restart. We'll have to see with production. That's not my decision. I'm just talking about the game, talking about the ball and the players. For now, we're continuing, but I believe pause inbound. We may even get the player back. No, we will pause the game eventually. And yeah, this is game 3, Kiki, coming through. We want to do a quick full restart. Of course, we want to make sure that the series flows well. And, you know, coming into this game 3, maybe gives a little bit more time for both teams to kind of think about, you know, what they want, what they're looking for in game 3. Because I think neither of them are totally happy with how the series has gone for either of them so far.
Well, the thing to talk about here as well is that, you know, we've seen Aqua show up in game 1, we've seen Monk show up in game 2 as well later on in the stage, and it seems like they're kind of just leveling up their approach to the actual game when it comes down to really outmaneuvering the opposition, out challenging them in the midfield. Do you reckon that sort of midfield battle will come to a close here at any point, or are they just consistently go back and forth here throughout the actual battle of the series?
You know, that's an interesting question. I think, you know, the midfield battle will be hard. It's always hard. That battle will always be there no matter what, because, you know, it's the space in between. But it's not just the space. It's not just controlling the ball. It's controlling the boost as well, controlling the resources. being able to play at your tempo, play at your pace, and especially if you can play fast. And both Team Name and Monkman can play extremely fast if you have those resources to do so. It can be really hard for the other team to keep up, and a lot of times that's when you're getting your goals. Now, that question of boost management really is, can you control that midfield to push forward and enjoy that boost or not? Monkmen in other series have traditionally been the team to do so, but Team Name could change that up here in Game 3.
Yeah, and right now it could be a little bit of extra time to see this one coming to an opening, because Knight has still yet to kind of figure out their own sorts of, connection to the game. But ultimately, when we do find it, it will take us an answer to see who takes the lead in this series. And, well, we're going to go back to the cast screens just so we can yap a little bit more about the game, I guess, here, Tibbles. And I really want to find out what they can do to kind of break through this sort of offense, because we've seen Monkmen, they sometimes just have their game, and they sometimes just don't. I don't know how much more a team can take of that before they actually finally figure out that sort of, level of play that Monkmen are applying. And there surely has to be a level of play that you're able to reach, and you're just gonna have to be able to ignore all the pressure that Monkmen apply to you. But what's the solution to that? Demos? Clear balls?
It's got to be a combination effort, I think, especially for, it looks different. That answer looks different depending on what team you're on. Knight, Hazo, and Aqua, there's definitely no problem with skill. It's definitely not a skill issue. You're not having to compensate for anything. Maybe going for demos and physical plays can be kind of something to compensate if you're going against a team that you're not so confident against. But for Team Name, I'm looking for those passes again. We didn't really talk about this yet, but the solo plays from Aqua Kiki, that is kind of a one statement threat from Aqua that it's really hard for Monkmen to deal with. For before the other series, they were kind of focused on, okay, we're going to break down this passing play. We're going to make sure they don't get a pass off, a shot off. But when you can have someone who is so comfortable with Aqua, making those solo plays, it can be really difficult.
Yeah, and we just got a bit of an update here. There will be around a minute of wait time. I believe Knight is all fine. I think it's just a restart necessary to kind of solve some technical issues, but ultimately we should be getting this one back on the way. There will be no obvious, extra bit of, break needed here. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to kind of get ourselves sorted, but with this sort of time, allowing us to move about and really talk about everything, why not talk about the brackets? Why not actually bring up a potential bracket of the actual second day and really kind of summarize what we have seen? Because we've seen some uncharacteristic losses here from M80, and, well, considering the fact that M80 was the powerhouse here, was the favorite, do you reckon they might have potentially given themselves a chance in the sort of, way that they have battled the lower finals? Do you really think they can pull off a bracket reset?
For Monkmen, I think, again, I predicted them for a reason in that lower final. I think if any team is going to do a run like that, it would have been a team like Lob. It would have been a team like Monkmen or Kazakami. I think for me, those are kind of the three front runners. Oh, okay, we'll throw an M80 in there, I guess, as well. But, there's just a few front runners for me who could maybe come through and have that kind of bracket reset. And, there's only a few of them. Monkmen is one of those teams. And so, I'm really interested to see if they can do so.
Yeah, and time to get ourselves back into the game here as soon as we are allowed to get that start up, to get that game underway. We are finally back into the action, and it's time to get Game 3 underway in a bit of a stormy night of DFH.
Yeah, Paul, all ready for this one. Again, up for Monk. Looking as well. Solar will have it off the backboard, looking for the drop down. Monk can't reach it. Juice just out of reach as well, off to the side. As though off the wall, plenty of boost as well, looking for that second touch, but doesn't find it. Just gives it away to Monk in that situation. Aqua once again dropping down, forces two. Hazo is there. The defense still gets there. And for Monkmen, that's exactly what they need.
Yeah, and now they are finally looking to kind of break through that sort of level of play. Ultimately, though, they are still struggling to get control of the ball here with the demo there. Lurking Knight gets that sort of slot. Into the bottom corner we go, and, well, we regain our senses as to who Team Name really are.
Yeah, and it's that demo coming through. There was even a last defender to make a last-ditch effort on the ball, but can't save that shot away. And, again, we had talked about in the break when we were just yapping just a little bit about these physical plays, about these demos, when they come out, why they come out, how they come out. And for Team Name, if they have that up their sleeve in their arsenal, it's one more thing for Monkmen to have to worry about. And again, it's setting a statement here in Game 3, because if you can if you can keep this lead, it is really important in the future. Aqua, a really big miss from them. Another miss from Juice as well, looking for that bump. Monk coming through. It's across the net. Solar is there for the finish. Aqua, can they get there? Knight is out. Oh, finally, every single player involved. Musty, a reset as well, and back in the corner.
Now they're going to have to work their way around the actual opposition to kind of break through on the counterattack. Aqua has the right idea, looking for that backboard. Monk struggling to kind of keep up with the speed of play, but ultimately there's nothing that comes of it for Team Name here, although Juice is lacking. Tips it onto the crossbar as a defensive notice here from Hazo. But there is really a bit of a back and forth intuition here from both sides. A little bit of ping pong here of sorts.
Yeah, and for Team Name here, constantly in the back of their head, they're going, all right, we cleared it, but where is the next shot coming from next? You have to be aware of where that ball will be shooting next. Again, in the midfield, Hazo will just send it backwards, actually, all the way back for Knight, maybe trying to clear the field. Solar, nice little pre-jump there, it looked like, coming up from Hazo again. Once off the ceiling, up to Aqua, looking to receive it, looking for the fake as well, but no one to follow up on it. Solar will just gladly take this to the skies, looking for the reset. Overnight, can they get there? Juice to top it up. Monk as well, looking for the slow play. I don't think they'll find it back in the corner, but Monkmen are trying to cook. They're in the kitchen.
Yeah, and now it seems like Monkmen still have some answers to deliver here. It seems Aqua, it was asking some questions. His teammate in tow, Hazo, got demoed for it. Now they're going to look for other solutions, especially considering the fact that Monkmen still haven't really had that extra team play pressure that we really know them for. So I'm really expecting that sort of level up from them to kind of grab themselves a little bit of extra momentum on the offensive third. Juice might look to do that as well if there's anyone to follow up. Aqua, pristine defense coming through to keep this one away.
Absolutely. Nice to follow up on it once again. Looking for it. Monk and Solar trying to collaborate this one out. Hazo just making it awkward off the post. Awkward once again. Aqua misses that one off the crossbar. Maybe they'll learn to regret that one. Oh, that went by the wayside. An easy second goal.
That doesn't feel like you should let it slip by, especially considering your only gap is a 1-goal lead, and Monkmen can take it away any second throughout the game, including the 0-second timer. You are really not in the safe zone to be making those sorts of mistakes here.
Yeah, you're really not, but you can't let that go into your head. And Aqua, I don't want to say it like that, but they've been in these situations before, especially in RLCS. You make a mistake or a play doesn't go your way, and there's no time to dwell on it. There's no time to reminisce. There's no time at all except for save the ball away.
They managed to keep it afloat, and now Juice is going to take some extra time to deliver this one infield. Solar faked away by Hazo, it feels like, and now they're going to have to let this one slip by, especially with the demo on their majority boost player. Now they're going to have to let this one go. Knight looking to just maneuver and kind of avoid that demo from Solar, able to do so, but still running out of time. The clock is bleeding, and Monkmen still no reply.
Yeah, Solar, so much space to look at here, but no boost. I mean, just a moment of calm in the storm here. Juice coming down. Another drop down. Solar to follow up as the third man. Knight up once again. 0 boost. That's really all they have. Solar 0 boost as well. Faking for Monk. All 3 defenders back, and nobody had boost in that scenario, Kiki. They were all in with empty tanks. Hazo shot again, but 20 seconds left.
Aqua has a reset to work with here. Juice up early to grab that sort of rebound. Solar not bumped fast enough by Aqua, and Team Name are putting up the pressure, even though it should be the Monkmen doing the same as well. They are the ones lacking behind here, and they have been given an opportunity here by Aqua themselves due to that early miss here. Juice over the top here. Monk turns in, but there's not enough room to make it work, and it seems like they do come across as a bit of a slower start to the game for Monkmen.
Yeah, a little bit of a slower start, but again, I would expect, I said before that I expect the series to go long. I also expect these games to be close, and I expect them to have a lot of shots, have a lot of offense, have a lot of the ball just pinging back and forth, like we've said. So again, yeah, Monkman dropped this game 3, but I don't think that's necessarily, indicative of what could happen in the rest of the series. I know they still look on point. They did concede a goal that, maybe shouldn't have happened, but it's still recoverable. They're still in it. But yeah, Knight coming through again. I talked about Aqua being the player to watch for me, but this time it's Knight to score.
Yeah, and it seems like, as far as it was an offensive game, in that game, Team Name had 10 saves compared to the 5 of Monkman. So Team Name were definitely the ones under a bit more pressure. It just seems like their defensive game held strong, and Monkman kind of technically let it slip a little bit. Even though Aqua had the golden opportunity to get that second goal, I believe that was the best chance of the entire game, even though that wasn't a goal. I still think that Monkman had that sort of pressure, had that sort of balance needed to win the game. It just ultimately sometimes doesn't go in, and now you're going to have to adapt to that. You're going to have to see what the result of that is, as we do get ourselves back on the way to see if they can bounce back and potentially lower it to a best of 3.
Yeah, and thankfully we will never know, what happens if they concede that last game after that missed goal.
Yeah.
Could shake their confidence, but they don't have to worry about that, thankfully for them. 2-1 lead in the series. Aqua looking to do it again as well. Bottom left. I mean, just a continuation of last game.
Yeah, really, just sort of getting that early lead, and then I believe they're going to simply dictate the rest of the game. Able to keep up the pressure and able to get those sort of early 50s into the midfield. I don't see Team Name really giving this one up. Once they have the lead, they rarely give room for Monkman to work with. But speaking of room, Solar has some flick over. Hazo makes the save.
Yeah, really good positioning from Hazo there to stay close enough to get that shot away. Juice! What an angle as well. Nobody was home in the goal to get that one away. It just bounces in.
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit surprised, but then I remembered there was a demo from Monkman previously that put some players in disarray, some players off of their normal rotation paths, and that's enough to really get you that early goal. You don't really need to do anything fancy, just disrupt the enemy, get the rotation off course, and you might be able to snatch a free one every now and then. Speaking of free ones.
For Knight, yeah, free one, a completely open net, caught on the counter-attack. Knight will regain that lead.
I mean, it seems like it was never in doubt in that sort of same sense, but how much room were they afforded? What happened to that play prior wasn't really paying as much of a dividends to their rotation, but they really did give themselves the best sort of look at the goal, and well, with 2 players free and open net, I'm not sure Team Name is going to miss that ever.
Yeah, and that's a dilemma that a lot of these teams have is, okay, how much do they invest towards each attack? Especially if it looks promising, it can come back to bite you, or it could be what sets you apart. Aqua, lovely receive on that ball here, looking to continue that 1-0 boost down. Knight, plenty of stuff to look at. Solar as well, ready for that save, getting that one away. Back in the corner for Monkman, flicked past as well. Aqua back in the midfield. Monkman to push forward. Once again, Knight again trying to return that one, goes straight to another player though, and this past 30 seconds or so has been exactly like that. Hit forward, another player hits it back. Hit forward, it's like we're playing volleyball here, Kiki.
Yeah, it feels like it's a little bit of a deeper game in terms of just, hey, we can't really break out of their sort of chain of command when they're up on our side of the pitch here, so let's just boom the ball away to the farthest player we've seen, and Team Name really have been breaking out of Monkman's sort of chokehold in that sort of manner, playing that sort of long ball game. We don't usually see it, but is relatively a decent strat to pull off. Even in Tier 1 Rocket League, we have seen it today even at the EWC, so we have plenty of moments to kind of talk about it. But speaking of moments, Knight decides to grab some for himself.
Yeah, lovely aerial from Hazo. Oh, that was just so clean from Hazo off the ceiling. Knight to receive it as well. And yeah, I have to agree with you with that kind of thing. Knight coming through as well. Be on the kickoff, looking for that ball. And again, bumping Juice as well. Will be a little bit difficult here. Looking for Juice out once again. Solar trying to get that one forward. It's a good pinch as well in the midfield. Knight to receive. A long bomb downfield. Hazo, no touch from them. And still 3-1. For Team Name here.
They seem to be keeping up with the pressure as well, but Monkman, oh, it seems like that was a glaring opportunity there. Monk should have really put that one towards target. It was a glaring open net towards the near post, and now they might live to regret it here if Team Name have a response, although it seems like it's Monkman all around. Comes the pressure as well. Double, triple commit even coming through. Solar, infield, anyone there? It's too late. Aqua meets it first, and Hazo has the simple clear.
Yeah. Oh, Juice going missing there. I like what you said before about, being aggressive on that one. I think they're pushing it forward a little bit more. And again, if they can clear it long, it pushes Monkmen back. It forces them to take a little bit of a step back, not be as aggressive on that one. Solar coming through. A double commit from Knight and Hazo as well. 2 minutes left. That's a big miss. Thankfully for Monkmen, Juice was back with full boost.
Wow, that could have been a game changer right there. Well, not really a changer, just a finisher. Ultimately, Aqua would have been happy to collect that one, but Hazo is as well. And speak of missed chances, they come back at ya, and they steal away in broad daylight anyway.
Yeah, and Knight getting bumped away, but he doesn't mind that. He got a front row seat to what his teammates are doing. That's putting it in the back of the net here for Team Name. And again, a really good game. Like I said, it can go back and forth with game 1, game 2. After that, I mean, game 3, again, like you said, it wasn't exactly, dominant from Team Name here, but they did manage to get through it. This one is completely different. 4-1 here in game 4.
No, they're able to kind of keep up this sort of level of play, and Team Name, they don't care about the pressure that Monkmen want to bring. They really just play their own game at this stage. I didn't really see any sort of result coming through them trying to hustle for position against Monkmen, trying to hustle for that sort of clear. They're simply just tired of it. They seem to have changed their playstyle completely, and Monkmen really do not enjoy it.
Yeah, Monkmen, I think last series, Kazakami, were just kind of going like, oh, we don't know how to deal with this. This series, I mean, they just look fine. Like, oh yeah, you're doing that again. We know how to deal with that. Yeah. That's just kind of the attitude the Team Name has seemed to have, especially in this game. Could be one for Monk. Streaks across the middle there. I mean, a goal for Monkmen here could really change things.
I mean, there was a second one looming as well. That's 2 for now from Monk, that he has had a chance to get this score in order for his team. And, well, I did say he was a player to watch. I didn't really mean in a sense where he's going to provide a lot of whiffs here.
Yeah. For Solar, he'll get that one out. Monk off the wall now. Oh, a little fake again. So dangerous on those fakes because, that Musty is so dangerous as well. Now Hazo back the other way. Aqua looking for the demo play. What an angle to make it 5.
No attempt. I believe Sola knew that this one was a given at any point, but still, I would have liked to see a dive or something, but Sola accepts it. Not sure if he could have made it in that sort of same sense, but game was done, set in stone, even before that, 5-1 on the scoreline, and ultimately, it is enough to bring themselves to game 5, where they might look to claim the championship title, unless we see some crazy Rocket League in the next 15 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's going to happen. I mean, they did give themselves another one here, 5-2. 3 goals in 15 seconds is a tall order. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but, let's say it does, and we look forward to Game 5. Now with Team Name on match point in that scenario, looks like that will be that scenario. Could be another one. Hazo to put it in. Yeah, that will officially confirm it here for Game 4. Team Name go into the next game on match point, Kiki, and they have 3 lives.
If there's anything we've seen from these teams here, if there's anything I've learned personally from NA, it has to be said that their mental resilience is on another level. We've seen Kazakami go down 6-0 in the first game, lose another one in the next one, and then all of a sudden climb their way back up to a Game 7. It was truly incredible, and I'm sure Monkmen have that same level of NA DNA, pun intended with a DNA, in themselves to kind of make it work and make that comeback come alive. The question is Team Name going to allow them to do that?
I don't think so. I think they're looking to shut it out here, and I think the danger, Kiki, was that not that Team Name couldn't carry out what they had started. My concern was that they wouldn't start at all. Coming into the grand final, Monkmen have already played a best of 7 for that losers final. So yeah, they're probably a bit tired, but they're warmed up, they're ready, they're into it. They're pumped and prepped and ready to go. And maybe not the case for Team Name, but there has been 0 mistake. In game 2, all right, they went down in game 2. But other than that, been very positive. Stayed positive even when on defense a lot, and protected that lead, that 1-0 lead in game 3. They go into game 5 with it all to win here, Kiki.
Yeah, they're not going to allow themselves to let it slip here. And, well, even if they do, 2 more chances. What's to say they're not going to look to take it a 5-minute stretch to just get it done in another game. So, ultimately, they have everything they need to close this one out. They have everything they need to potentially crown themselves champions of the Crawler Cup. And just a reminder, $4,500 on the line for the winner here. That is a payday and a half, $1,500 per player. It does give you a hefty paycheck to work with just for playing Rocket League.
Yeah, and it's just like a weekend as well. You know, last weekend having some fun playing some Rocket League, and then the finals today. So, you know, whoever is able to take this series here, again, it could be team name here in Game 5. We could be heading to a Game 7. Who knows? But either way, such a big prize pool. Really awesome for these players to be able to win such a great amount of money. And again, thanks again to Frost Esports and Trolli for supporting this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. The organization has been impeccable, always consistently applying that sort of same level of not just sort of justice, but to all teams, to all parties. If they don't feel something's right, we will look to adjust it. Same thing happened for the Confusion throughout the fact that this event should have been finished on Monday, but ultimately, it might continue for a little while longer on this beautiful Saturday evening here as Monk and Solar combine for a goal.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird one. You know, you gotta look at the replay, you go, all right, this player's going over there, this player's going over there, then the ball's in their net, you know? And it doesn't look very organized, and maybe a moment of weakness here for team name, but Monk will receive it once again, looking for the reset, carry through, 2 defenders, won't be through. Aqua, though, has that save, coming through for Solar, bumped away as well, and they do finally get it away. A nice little flick there.
Hazard over the top, being able to kind of make that final judgment, ultimately in the corner of Monkman. That's an awkward shot to kind of deal with here. Solar does deal with it quite beautifully as well, keeping up thanks to the wall dashes that he has provided. Able to just kind of stick around and still cause trouble here for team name. Monkman really applying that extra bit of pressure to make this one go out as far as possible from their own net.
And some predictions taking place for Monkman here as well, just trying to predict where Aqua goes. Because Aqua is such a fast player, such a mechanical player, trying to read the car body language is so important. Monk just carrying this one through. There is nobody back, and will double the lead for Monkman here.
You've spelt that into existence. Aqua being able to play, but Monk was one step ahead. Aqua found the control onto the ground, but Monk was already in the air, ready to take it over them. So, I don't know, Tibbles, what more sightseeing journeys will you take us upon here? Because that one was just incredible timing.
Yeah, showed up right as I was talking about it. Paid actor coming out. But yeah, and again, Monkmen are fighting back. Nice bump there from Solar coming across. Wow. They can't even get it through. They can't get it out. Monk will score this one. It's 3. Again, Monkmen are coming back.
It's frustrating, you know. There's nothing you could have done about this play. Knight did everything he could. He was the one bumped as well. He was the one removed from the play. There was another player removed from play prior to the play. And there was so many variables to deal with. Ultimately, you have no choice but to perfect through all of them or ultimately suffer the consequences, which you did. 3 goals. Monkmen, once more, playing their own game in team names kind of field here.
Yeah, and you know, again, when a game kind of gets away from you, you kind of have to wonder, all right, when are we back into this? You can see Aqua taking a shot there, not quite successful. Would let them back in as well. I mean, 3 minutes, plenty of time here. Monk in the midfield as well, looking to carry this one. Bump, not successful. Could line this one up. What? Literally inch perfect, Kiki. Monk is a demon.
How do you get that before it even crosses the halfway line of the goal horizontally? That is incredible. What an angle to work with there! I've never seen such perfection on a simple double tap.
And what better time to extend your lead to 4 in Game 5 when you really need it? Send it to a Game 6. In Kiki, we saw that last series. Game 6 is much different than a Game 5. You can feel how close you are to that final game, the Game 7.
Oh, it feels like it's just starting up. Still more than half the game to go. Sure, team name could put up the numbers, but when the momentum is swinging so far, when the pendulum is on your side, you're just simply able to carry it through the entire game, and I'm not sure I see Monkman giving this one up. But still, let's not count our team name out just yet, because it still is some semblance of hope lying on their side of the field.
Yeah, they just look on the back foot here for Team Name. Aqua trying to carry that one through. An unfortunate double commit because of that challenge. Again, up to the ceiling for Knight, dropping that one down. Still in the corner, though, for Monkmen. And these challenges, I think, if you were to ask me, what changed in this game, what a shot as well, what a heater from Monk. It's the challenge game from Monkmen has just been completely different. The passes have been on point. That was literally perfect. Solar just had to plop that one in, and it's 5 goals.
How many more is the only question. Euphoria amongst the roster, they believe in this one. If we can decimate Team Name as hard as we have in Game 5, that's what's going to be going through their heads consistently, game after game, game after game. And we're going to have to kind of let this one go by in an instant because they have been truly bringing an incredible show to the game.
Yeah, they really have. Monkmen don't look like stopping as well. I believe the players are asking for a review. Doesn't look like it will be approved, so we will carry on here in Game 5. But I think it gives some time to Team Name here. All right, think about what went wrong. Again, Monkmen, those passes have been on point, but you can't really worry about that. You can't control how Monkmen are playing. All you can control for Team Name is how you respond and what you do about it. Because clearly they need to do something about it. More work is needed to be done to take this championship.
Yeah, and now you're going to have to kind of work around this sort of level of play. And well, when you think about this sort of game in this same sort of style, how are they ultimately going to deal with it? How are you going to bring this one to a close? Are you going to let this one go to a 5-0 sort of reveal? Or are you going to potentially find yourself another goal amidst the actual lineup of players?
Yeah, and I still think that Team Name won't be nervous here in Game 6. As we move on to the next game in about 40 seconds, I don't think they'll be nervous. I think they'll, they still have a life left. They still know their gameplay and know they can execute that and, do a really good job. If it goes to Game 7, that's where it kind of goes, okay, this is it. We have no lives left. If this does not go well, if we kind of lose the plot of the game here and concede a few goals, it could be all over for us. And they've looked so positive here for Team Name. Oh my, what a shot.
Okay, going for a little bit of a clip as well in the last few seconds of the game, being able to kind of control the sort of momentum in your favor. But ultimately, it will not be enough for Team Name to kind of get themselves even the first. But Monkmen, styling on the opposition as they look to bring this one to a close. And seems like Game 6... I have a few extra stories to tell us.
Yeah, Game 6, we will see. And again, maybe a little bit of a breather. They might take some time here. Knight coming back and completing that Team Name roster there. Aqua, 3 saves. I think it's a little bit interesting to see Aqua so much on defense here. Yeah, some ping struggles from Hazo may be a factor, but it's just odd to see Team Name kind of play that way. And at a certain point, 4-0, it was kind of like at that point, all right, Monkmen are really dominating this game. What they're doing is just working. Team Name, we talked about it. They had plenty of time. They had about half the game left, but it wasn't going to happen for this one. But Game 6, a new 5 minutes on the clock, a new opportunity for Team Name to take this prestigious championship here, or will Monkmen have something to say about it?
Well, you can grab yourself either a Bob's Ramen, as you've seen, featured on the beautiful Neo Tokyo, or maybe a Trolli as well, but beautifully said, my colleague, and I have to agree, it seems like Team Name really hasn't played the way they, usually are like to be seen. They kind of lack that sort of conviction behind their 50s. They lack that sort of second man follow-up. There was a lack of trust as well coming through between the players, and ultimately, it seems like it cost them on the slightest here, but I believe they might be able to kind of figure it out if they are to come through with a little bit of an extra sort of boost, extra bit of momentum. The first goal will speak volumes about this game.
Yeah, I agree. It could set the tone for Game 6, and, especially if Monkmen are the first to score. Again, there's so much you could speculate based on who scores. We'll have to see. I mean, it'll all be in front of you on your screen, ready for you to watch. I'm so excited to get into this Game 6. It could be all here, or it could be a Game 7. We'll have to see. Either way, I'm happy. Hazo, happy as well. Has the ball and boost, but cut out by Solar.
Oh, 50 pound as well here. There needs to be a reset for Monk, taking the skies here. Maybe another extra bit of conviction at touch there, but Monkmen seem to have the pressure that they started with in the previous game as well. Team Name still not recovering to full sort of strength, but still, it seems like there could be a mistake, and it will cost them. And what a way to get a starting goal!
Oh,
What?
Aqua, just a little bump. Oh, I don't think Monk was expecting Aqua to get that much distance on that ball from just a little boink. You know, I think that has to be it. He just wasn't ready for it. But again, you said the first goal, it could speak volumes. I think that one might. It was a mechanical mistake, so it wasn't a complete breakdown of the play. It could be another one. Monk off the top right. The equalizer was right there.
Yeah, and coming through at it again, Hazo looking to kind of deliver pain and punishment on the other side of the field. Seems like Hazo is looking for that 50 as well to kind of grab that sort of maybe early sort of control play that Monkmen like to usually tend to take care of here. Especially because Monkmen, they love playing those 50s for their second man and potentially grab that extra assist along the way if the goal is to come.
Yeah, especially in Team Name's half, you can kind of see Monkmen just, you know, take one challenge at it and then immediate follow-up by their teammate, then another follow-up, but it's smart as well. What a shot, saved away fast as well. Back for Juice off the half line, Knight up, a little bit awkward on the back line. Can Solar get there? 3 defenders in net, forced that one out for Team Name here as well. Awkward to carry this one down the midfield, a ground shot, easy in the end. Knight to beat them there as well, no boost for the follow-up. Juice trying to get there. Hazo goes by the wayside. Can Solar get off the Musty as well off the backboard, but what a save from Aqua.
Yeah, and Juice is going to have to kind of deal with the remnants of this ball here as Team Name are looking proudly to bring the attack to them instead. Hazo 50 on the goal line basically as well. Monk refusing to give him an easy challenge, but he makes an easy challenge out of it. Aqua with a shot, there's not enough power if any, and that could have been a glaring opportunity here for Team Name to double up.
Oh, I love that little, like, ollie from, I think it was Hazo, the little ollie to get over the defenders. They were just stacked up in the Monkmen net there. And, oh, the final shot just let down the play, unfortunately. And, you know, thankfully for Knight and Aqua and company on Team Name, they still have the lead. But, you know, looking to get that one back up for Hazo, trying to get another one. Can't let that be in their head still. Juice, let it go. Looking for the bump off the backboard as well. Needs that save away because Monk, I'm sure, is more than ready to be that third man, crashing in, pass to the middle. Aqua coming back to make that save off the wall once again. Juice putting pressure on here. Monk the last man. Aqua, such a crucial touch to get that one away.
Yeah, they're going to need to kind of get themselves a little bit of a fast roller because they are not going to let you enter so easily. You're going to have to set up the play a little bit prior to the actual goal. They need a little bit of a demo or maybe an angle to work with here. Coming through, Juice with the finishing shot. It's a little bit too wide and it goes astray. Monkman once more potentially regretting a missed opportunity.
And I was about to say it's crunch time too, and I'm like, oh, you know, maybe they're going to come through for Monkman. They had almost, it looked like 3 opportunities there, but none of them seemed to work out on the shot front. But yeah, we're definitely in a crunch time now. 90 seconds left, and Monkman still looking for that tying goal that they need to stay in this series. Will be lobbed up. Awkward aerial for Juice. Back for Solar. Follows up on this one as well. So important for your teammates to get there. Aqua drop down. Juice is there as well. No boost, but at least is there. Looking for the 50 as well. Keeping this in the midfield. And Team Name are happy to just send this ball wherever, everywhere. You know, waste as much time on the clock as possible. This Juice might drop this one down. Just flies by the wayside once again. Looking for that one away. 1 minute for them to find a solution.
Yeah, and then there's moments where you look back into the series. We've seen plenty of them, but in this sort of same sense, it does seem like Monkmen are running out of solutions. Solar, the last player back, all alone, leaving to kind of just needing to deal with the rest of the team here. There's the redirect. There could be the finishing touch here. Save from Monk, and it keeps them alive for a little while being. I thought that was a bit of an easier save than it might have been, but ultimately, it still is the same result. 1-0, 30 seconds. What can they conjure up?
Oh, Monkman, if you come out with something, that has to be a defining moment for your recovery here. Knight to make a save backwards as well. Aqua to continue this one. Long clear downfield, but Solar will intercept. You can see their strategy to just get it away from their goal. Make it hard for Monkmen to come back. Use all their resources, all their utilities, just to get in front of your goal and get a shot. It worked, at least for now. It didn't look like it would. Shaky as it was, 0 seconds on the clock. It just has to touch the ground. Team Name will be your Frost Tournament Crawler Cup champions.
Yeah, I mean, they come through, and they have looked very dominant throughout the actual game. they haven't really given it a second thought when it came down to just, following up on the sort of levels of play. They haven't really thought about, okay, Monkmen, they came in strong, they climbed from the lower bracket, could they be a challenge for us? Not really, team name says. They finish in 6, and well, seems like Tibbles, you really had it spot on right there in terms of the game predictions, so congratulations on that one, the sightseeing wizard of Tibbles. But that one was one heck of a show to grow through, and well, ultimately, it seems like they will take that sort of prize fund. But what is the prize fund, Tibbles? Let's get that little bit of a recap here on screen, just to remind ourselves what team name have actually just achieved, and well, Tibbles, just take us through it.
Yeah, we'll pull that up for you guys. You can see right along with us as well. So Knight, Hazo, and Aqua just pulled a cool $4,500 for themselves. Kiki, that's $1,500 each. I wouldn't say that's too bad for a weekend of playing some Rocket League. Second place, $2,000, $1,250 for third, $750 for fourth, and of course the lower places 5 through 8th with 500 and 250 respectively. But again, it's easy to say that with a lot of numbers, but I think it's really cool that top 8, right? You made that second bracket, you made the second day, you walk away with a pretty good amount of money for the time that you invested, no matter what.
Yeah, and well, why not just recap upon the actual whole show? We started with a little bit of a qualifier, but ultimately on the actual main stage, we had the bracket on day 2 here, and that was off of a Swiss stage that was, I won't lie, a very eventful one coming through as well. There was some teams that didn't even make it through that were expected to kind of win the whole thing. Tag going out, T. Corel, AJ Ga, an incredible team that could have really put the pain on anyone in the playoffs. It just doesn't seem like it was their day, and they do lose out ultimately to some of the more interesting choices in the final few stages of the Swiss matches. But any sort of extra glaring, obvious games that really taking your peak interest here from the Swiss stage?
I think we covered this bracket so well, and it was so exciting. Swiss stages are always fun, Kiki, to see all the different matches and all the different lineups, and you can watch whatever match you want, and it's great. It's great fun. A lot of people I know love it. So yeah, we covered a Swiss stage so well. And again, we talked about some teams that we thought probably should have made it. Maybe we were surprised to see some of the results that they had. And that can happen, in a double elim. When that happens, maybe you go down in an earlier round in the upper bracket, right? Upper bracket round 1 or upper bracket round 2, you win one series and then you drop down. You have to go through that whole lower bracket, and it can be so hard. Of course, that's different for the Swiss. That's based on how many you've won as well. But yeah, I think most teams overall that we expected to make it did make it, and there were some outliers there that were cool to see.
Yeah, and ultimately, well deserved coming through here from team name in the final moments. But speaking of, we do have a bit of a special moment to kind of wrap all of the things up and, well, potentially grab ourselves a few thoughts here. So please give us a little bit of time to just set everything up while we do get ourselves Knight into the booth. Knight, welcome. Can we hear you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, he's coming through. Congratulations, Knight. You guys absolutely stomped the opposition, and well, there's gonna be a few questions involved in this interview as always, but could you tell me, how does a team go from a 3-2 Swiss stage to absolutely demolishing everyone in the playoff bracket?
I'm not gonna lie. In the Swiss stage, I think I lost to the worst team I've ever lost to.
Oh boy.
No offense to them. But yeah, I think that's the worst loss I've probably ever had. But honestly, we didn't really care in the Swiss stage. We didn't play with any, I don't know, we just played the game, and luckily we almost didn't make it. We had to win 1 goal game 3 round 5, and it was a little scary
down to the wire. yeah
we just wanted to qual, and honestly it was cool being the last seed in the Swiss because we got to play the best team, and we knew we were good enough to win the tournament, and we kind of just want to play the best team at first, which we ended up winning that, and then
Absolutely. Well, I just want to ask, we had a great series. We had the losers final before you guys played in the Grands. That was Monkman and Kazakami. Did you guys watch that series? And if you did, how were you feeling to see them go to Game 7? Monkman, fought back and take it to Game 7 and still win through and carry that momentum. And how were you feeling, I guess, coming into that grand final, knowing that Monkmen were on the way?
Yeah, so I was watching a little bit. I wanted the Night Yes team to win. I would have rather played them, to be honest. I think we have a better like matchup against them.
Mhm.
But when we saw, I mean, we were confident versus both, but honestly, both the teams like weren't really playing that well, in my opinion. Like in that lower final, they were kind of. I feel like that Monkman team, like they have a lot of talent, but they play a bit scared than like how they should be. If they just played all confident, especially Juice, I feel like Juice plays like if he played super confident, he would be really good. And I think he'll get there eventually, but all three of those players are really good individually. They seem to play with more confidence. And I think they probably could have beat us, but yeah.
I see that. So heads held high from Monkman here, but ultimately it did seem like Monkman had a game on, game off sort of scenario, whereas you guys actually just really had some sort of confidence. Was it actually not really like a lack of interest, but was it just the sort of, you know, fluid playstyle of let's just play, let's see what happens? And is it that sort of playstyle and mentality that gave you the confidence to kind of just absolutely sweep everyone through the upper bracket, or what was the actual mentality like throughout the actual tournament?
So, I mean, I just asked Aqua to play this tournament, and we were just trying to find a third. Like, we're kind of just a six-man's team. Like, we're not gonna team for RLCS or anything. So we kind of just like had no expectations. We just played to play. I mean, we were trying to win the tournament. I feel like that Monk team probably has like way more. They're probably gonna team, honestly, for RLCS and whatnot. Yeah, we kind of just played free. Like, we didn't really like care. So I think that like helped us playing like the high pressure matches.
All right, and for our final question, before Kiki gives you a chance to shout any people that you want out, I just have one final question. Of course, there were a lot of adjustments made in that grand final rotationally. We kind of noticed that you guys were sending the ball far. You were clearing it far because Monkmen were being so aggressive. Was that a conscious effort to try and adjust to that? Obviously, because that can be an issue on the challenge front.
I think subconsciously, like we didn't really talk about it between games, like, but Solar, that guy Solar, he just chases demos. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So like honestly, yeah. Whenever someone chases demos, I kind of just want to get the ball so I don't die. But yeah. Honestly, like subconsciously, probably we did that just because like I don't know, we play the game a lot, so we probably just like know in our heads to do that, but we didn't talk about it, I'm gonna be honest, at all.
Fair enough. Well, you know what? Adaptability, subconscious is the most important part of Rocket League. You know, you need to make those split-second decisions, and you don't really have time to really ask yourself, ooh, what do I do here? What do I do there? You just kind of do. And ultimately, that's what you guys did. You came through. So ultimately, Knight, congratulations to you and Team Name for becoming champions of the Crawler Cup, and enjoy yourself the $4,500 prize money. But before you do leave us here for the interview, do you have anyone you'd like to shout out, or anyone that you would like to give a little bit of a quote to?
Yeah, thank you for hosting this tournament.
Well,
it was ran well. Obviously, big prize pool. It's kind of lucky that the best NA teams were in Paris for the qualifiers. So I will take that. Shout out Aqua and Hazo. You know, they kind of carried me. My internet didn't help me at all. I was DCing, lagging, but you know what? Doesn't matter. We won. You know, we did it.
Made it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, thank you very much. Nat. Enjoy your night, and it's been a pleasure to hear you. Have a great night, and well, there you have it. Tibbles, it has been an incredible one, and well, what a nice guy as well, Knight. You know, I was expecting a little bit more of a, you know, macho guy considering the plays that he actually made, but he's really a kind and nice and chill guy. So ultimately, what do you take from it, from all the experience that you have seen throughout the Crawler Cup?
Yeah, Knight's definitely a chill guy. You know, kind of enemies for Northwood there, but yeah, still a really good player, really cool guy. Overall, I mean, this tournament was just so cool, and that's actually a good point that Knight had, that, you know, Paris and EWC was kind of going on at the same time as this, and so yeah, we did kind of see some teams come through that did well that we don't really see too often. I love to see Monkmen. And I'm not too well versed on the North American scene currently, but Monkmen, I think, I haven't really seen them before. And I think the first game that we actually casted with them, I said, hey, I don't really know much about them, but I'm really curious, really excited to see what they bring out and what they can do. And they brought the show, man.
Yeah. Well, it's been an incredible show, I must say. And yes, you are absolutely correct. It wouldn't have been a show without the actual individualities and the teams that have showed up. They all showed up with their own individual playstyle, which I love to see. Sometimes you just see every single team clinging to the same meta and it's just repetitive. It kind of gets boring, but we've truly seen some spirit from NA, and we've truly seen that soul of what it means to play your own game, play different games. But we have a little bit of a fun sort of, mishap that happened on the show. There has been an effort that was caught by production, and they really want us to take a look at this sort of awkward miss. Apparently it was a double crossbar hit, Tibbles, so take me through this one, please.
Oh, was this the one with Aqua? Oh, man, yeah, it was Aqua coming through and just bangs it off the crossbar. If we can rewind that at all, I just want to see it again. Oh, man, I mean, that was a dart and had the whole goal to look at, Kiki.
Had Monkmen won that game, we might have been in a bracket race already. Game 3 here, you never know. We might have been DFH Stadium, but instead of Grand Final speaking there, it would have been a bracket reset. But why did he not jump? Can we just take a little bit of an extra second here, Tibbles? Why did he not jump?
Yeah, so, okay, my theory, right,
okay,
is that there's a lot of defenders there for Monkmen, right?
Uh-huh.
My theory is that everyone's on the ground there, Solar is there. Maybe he's thinking that if he jumps and the pinch, somehow goes up to the backboard or something, or does a crazy bounce back the other way,
okay,
it could be dangerous. That's my hunch, is that there was a reason, strategy-wise, why there was no jump there.
I have a feeling he just said, oh, I'm booming this, and he went like a statement crossbar girl, but all of a sudden,
it could be that too.
It just could have been awkward, but thankfully they did pull through with that game, and well, it then ended up being in their goodwill. But ultimately, one final look at the final bracket with everything concluded, so we can give ourselves a little bit of a final overview. And Tibbles, it's been an incredible journey. It took a little bit longer than anticipated in terms of the dates, but we eventually got there, and well, team name deservedly so, sweeping this sort of upper bracket in a reverse sweep style, ultimately giving Monkmen a bit of a challenge twice in a row and overcoming them. But nothing to take away from Monkmen. They get themselves that prize pool. So Tibbles, truly, team name, they deserved it.
Absolutely, yeah. No, they played so well. Yeah, I completely. I think it's interesting, Kiki, that the actual Monkmen took them to Game 5. That was like the hardest series that they had pretty much all tournament long, at least in the second stage. And so, yeah, Monkmen did really well, but I think in the end, Team Name showed why they're head and shoulders above the rest of this competition as well. Even the likes of M80, who, as soon as they lost that round 1 in the upper bracket, I'm like, okay, this is going to be kind of a crazy tournament. We're going to see some crazy results here and see some good Rocket League. So I have to agree. I have to say they completely deserve it. They played really well.
Yeah, and a huge thank you, as you can see there, by 2 Leagues Trolli for making all of this possible, bringing the players to us here, bringing the prize pool as well, and something to compete for. But once again, it has been incredible. I have been Kiki in the booth, Tibbles alongside me. We have had Kassalian with all the production and the fancy efforts, alongside Raids for the observing. So, once more, we'd like to thank you all from the Frost Esports team, and until next time, keep an eye on our socials, and maybe we grab another tournament sometime soon. But for now, that's been all from us. Bye-bye for now, and stay frosty.